Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. Today is Friday. Friday. I don't know what I'm doing, nor do I know what I'm talking about. I'm trying to figure my life out. Here we go. I hope everybody is doing well out there. Today. We're going to get started here in a second. Just wait for people to jump up in here. Just started. Wait for people to jump up in here. Today is Friday. Welcome. I hope everybody has had a good week. Shout out to Army nurse. I see you up in here, gal. I mean, ma'am, respectfully. Happy Friday. How are you? Hope you had a good week. So far. Well, so far, I mean, we're going into the weekend, so it don't even matter at this point. Shout out to all y'all. Got 4 people that are jumping up in here. So we're going to let some more people jump up in here so they know what we about and what we finna do today. And then, we'll keep it pushing. So every time I hop in, I'm hitting, look, I see it. And I appreciate you jumping in, and I appreciate you sharing it and all that stuff. Let me tell you, I needed 3,000 people to like me. I needed 3,000 people to like me. But 3,000 people don't like me, and I can't do anything over here. So now guess what? We're going to be reading NCLEX style questions just like how I did it last time. And I'm not going to hold it up here because that's kind of ghetto. And for the fact that the way that my muscles and my arms are set up, like I'm tired, you know what I'm saying? Bedside be ghetto, you know what I'm saying? But who am I kidding? I don't be working bedside like that no more. But anyways, shout out to all 22 of y'all that are up in here. Hey, make sure y'all smash that like button. Hey, if you are new here, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the TikTok. I go by the name The Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. My name is Kevin. If you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you are at in your nursing journey. We're going to be doing NCLEX style questions today. We're going to talk about nursing stuff, like whatever like nursing news is happening throughout the nursing world. And essentially you guys can ask me whatever you want. And you can ask me whatever you want, but you may not get the answer that you want. We do things a little bit differently here. If you decide that you want to go on my chat and you want to troll, I'm going to give you a 600 and a 600. All that means is you get 600 seconds of going to ban world, which means you're going to get banned. And by 600, you're going to get banned the whole stream and probably just forever. You know what I'm saying? So don't be coming in my chat talking shit, because if you want to troll, I can troll you back. And I actually enjoy trolling people. So welcome to all 91 people that are in here. Hey, so I want to know who you are, where you're from. Hey, if you're a brand new nurse about to start school, or you started school this week or next week or in September after Labor Day, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. Hey, get a jump start on your NCLEX journey right now. It's going for $48. Make sure you guys check it out. It's going on right now, 80% off of the current price as of right now. And once you get it forever. So we'll see what's popping, see what's going on. All right, it says, let's see what it says. I applied for an OR position in cross-training. You're going to get it. You're going to get that OR position. You want to know why? Because they need OR nurses. I made it. Oh, shout out to you, Sam, for making it. Wait, what'd you make? You talking about the stream that you make it? Look, if you had notifications on, you make it all the time. You know what I'm saying? The shortage in the healthcare industry is nationwide. Of course it is. Nursing retired. Okay, shout out to you. Is it Tucci? Wheezy, is that you? Detroit in the house? No one. Oh, okay. You're telling me that you're from Detroit. I thought you meant Detroit. Okay, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Steve. I just finished week 2 of nursing school. Shout out to you. Is that Alexis? What is your experience like, Alexis? Tell us that. Shannon said, my mom was a nurse for 40 years. Shout out to your mom for being a nurse for 40 years, because, it ain't no joke. It ain't no joke out here, because, nursing is a rewarding, but it also, it is a challenging occupation, especially now with things being brought to the forefront. Nursing has always had a shortage ever since its existence. Too many people and not enough nurses to take care of them. However, the things that are happening in the nursing world now that are being brought to the forefront are more, you can see it more because people are more prone to express it. So what kind of nurse are you? I'm an OR nurse. I work in the operating room. I also have ICU experience, and I've worked in the recovery room, or the PACU. So I've worked there. So that's my experience. Alexa says it's been good, overwhelming, but once I get into the groove of things, it will be better. And that's exactly how everything is. Like once you get into the groove, once you find your footing, once you get into a routine, it's just everything is just gonna fall into place. Steve said, RN, but in medical sales. Look, hey Steve, Steve got the real job out here, y'all. I'm just saying, like, Steve, what do you do for medical sales? Like, do you travel a lot, or do you just stay like within your district? Because I know some people that work for 3M, or they work for Medline or Stryker or all that stuff. I know that they travel a lot, so that's one of the downsides of why I didn't take a medical sales position, if that makes sense. She was a nurse and I became a teacher. Different professions, similar kind of problems. Every profession, 9 times out of 10, has similar problems all the time. Can you share your pay if you don't mind? Because numbers online aren't always true. Well, B, I'm going to tell you this right now. I made a video about my first nursing paycheck, so go check that out. It's on my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, everybody that's in here, make sure you guys go subscribe to my YouTube channel, because if you miss this live or any lives that I do, they go up on my YouTube channel. And like I said, I made a video called My First Nursing Paycheck. I think it has like 1,000 views or something like that. So I'm really proud of that editing that I did there on that one. So yeah, go check that one out. Because my pay is higher, but on average, I live in Texas, and it all just depends on where you work and how much experience you have, and how much are you willing to negotiate, when it comes to stuff. So, but yeah, go check that out. Nella said exactly. Alex said LPN or surge tech. Alex, I don't know. What do you want? What do you want to do? Do you want to be a surgical tech, or do you want to be a nurse? Camille says, I'm 38. Is it too late? All right. Is it Camila? You must be new here, because I've never seen your name pop up here before. I'm usually pretty good at remembering stuff, but your age has nothing to do with you doing anything. What Methodist do you work at? I work at a Methodist hospital from Middle Tennessee, nursing since 98, too tired to do the math. Yeah, that's a lot of math, Tori. I ain't gonna lie to you. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to you. Mostly L&D, NICU, and case management. Shout out to you. So how do you like case management, Tori? Nurse Nelly, when she pops up in here, she's my moderator / co-host. She works in case management now, and she loves it. He said BSNRN. Yeah, that's what I said. My mom always said that the OR nurses was the most boring. Well, hey, to each their own. OR is not, a lot of people's cup of tea. It can get boring, but then when the shit hits the fan, it hits the fan. She did ER and went into occupational medicine. Shout out to her. Let's see. Okay, appreciate it. No worries. Tammy said, hey, Tammy, what up? User22 said, I will never be an RN. I will continue to stay as a CNA as I have been for 17 years. Okay, then do you then. If you don't want to do that, then you don't got to do that. No travel, supposed to, but I sit in my house office in calls all day, very little travel. Okay, because I know that with the travel with medical devices or medical sales, depending on what company you work for, you're going to, some of them I saw just 85% travel. I was just like, if ain't nobody had no kids, you ain't got to worry about that. Do what makes you happy. Happy Friday, Eminem. CNA is where it's at. CNA is where it's at for you. So is it Nashira? Fellow nurse here, shout out to you. Yeah, and who is that? Camila? So yeah, like I said, not trying to say anything bad about, your age, but there were people that I was in school with that were in their 50s. Your age has not. Do you see that degree right there? It doesn't say how old I am. It does not say how old I am at all. So I'm just saying, what is better, rad tech or nursing? Just depends. It depends on what you want. I say, and I'm saying this, personally for myself. If I could go back and do something different and within the medical field, I probably would have done X-ray. That's just me. Do cracked teeth cause neck and ear pain? Well, Farah, I'm not a medical provider, so I'm not going to give you medical advice. So if you want that, I would actually seek out your provider. So this is just this is just a blanket statement. If you come in here and start asking people medical questions, don't ask people medical questions. I'm just telling you right now, because even though we're medical professionals, for a lot of us that are in here, hey, if you want to answer that question, cool, you do that. But I'm not going to answer your medical question, because you need to take that up with your provider. Unless I forget and then I tell you, and then that's different. So I would take it up with your provider. Case management can be stressful but flexible when working from home mostly. Yeah, that's what she says. What's better, Rad, to already answer that question? Working on boards. Shout out to you. Where's Nurse Nelly? I don't know where she's at. I sent her a text message because she got mad because last time I was in here. You know what I'm saying? So best school for RN in Houston. I don't know, Camila. Have you looked? I know Chamberlain is there. And the thing about it is just sometimes it's not about the best school, but it's more about what's accessible. Because there's a lot of these schools that are not. But it all just depends on what you have available. Some people are just like, I'll use UT for an example, the University of Texas in Austin. People are just like, I only want to go to UT. And I was like, what if you don't get into UT for like 4 years, but there's a school that's available that is just as good? I can tell you right now, it doesn't matter what school you go to at all. And a lot of the nurses in here can attest to that. Most nurses I've seen have never been a CNA and have no idea. Okay. So what's your point, user 22? I'm curious. So like most RN, so I was never a CNA, but I am a hospital corpsman, so I understand what it's like to be in a tech role, to, activities of daily living, showers, wiping ass, like all that stuff. Like I understand it. You're right. Not a lot of nurses will understand that. But one thing I will tell you is that you have the same opportunity as they do to not be a CNA. But if you want to be a CNA, then that is your prerogative and you can stay there. But if you don't and you want more increased responsibility to do other things, and you can do that as well. Lucas said, just started nursing school Monday and had my first lab on Thursday. What's some advice you can give me? Well, Lucas, I can tell you right now is, number one, stay in a small group. No bigger than 4 people to include yourself. Share notes, split your notes up evenly and then share notes amongst one another. When it comes to the lab, ask all the questions, even if you feel like they're stupid. And then get hands-on. Get very much hands-on on everything that you need to do in regards to that. Sean, would I be okay with an associate? Yes, absolutely, Sean. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. So yeah, Sean, you be, because you want to know what's funny? One of the managers that her and I are friends, and she's a manager of an entire floor, and she has her associate's degree. Just because you have an associate's degree doesn't mean you're not capable of leading people. So I don't know. Like hospitals get this thing in their head where, we need to have this level of education, when you clearly can see that there's somebody who's very capable and very knowledgeable that can run an entire floor. You see what I'm saying? Any tips on passing the T's? Study for it. One book I would recommend is the Mometrics book. If you don't already have that one, it's the yellow book that you can find on Amazon. It's like $33 or something like that. I would check that one out. I already answered your question. I answered it again. Steve said true. Gabe, you're welcome. Is that say Venom? Okay. I'm torn between being a doctor and being a nurse. Any tips of why becoming a nurse is better? Well, Venom, I actually wanted to go to medical school and I wanted to be a doctor at one point. And I realized for me personally, at least for all the doctors that I was exposed to, which was a lot of them forget that people are people, especially they forget that people are people. Like they only stay there for a split second and they read everything essentially like from a board. Like they don't get personal. And for me, being a nurse, like you're with them all the time, you can get a little bit more personable. You can, get personable with their family. Like you can really create a bond. And that's what it's about. And a lot of times that's what it's about. It's about the patient. It's not about, even though the medicine is there, it's about the patient. So, yeah. That's why I chose being a nurse, is because being a nurse, you realize that people are still people. And in my thought process, figuring that out for myself, it was like doctors don't feel the same exact way, if that makes sense. It's like we're more invested in them than they are. But that can actually, kind of backfire on you too, just for the fact of, you create such an emotional connection to these people. And then if they pass away, and you deal with that along, just as much as you deal with the family, even though you may have been with them for a short period of time. You know what I mean? So that's why I chose it. But, go to where your heart is. If you want to go and be a nurse and do that. If you want to go be a doctor, go do that. X-ray and still have an RN license. Yeah, you can do X-ray and still have an RN license. If you go to nurse.org and look under certifications, you can become like a radiology nurse. Like there's stuff that's in there. So, Kevin, I got 100. I heard you got 100 on your bio quiz. Trust me, I got told. I know what you're doing out there. So shout out to you for getting 100 on your test. I know your mom is beyond proud. Trust me. Daniel said, I'm 46, going back to school. RN license, nothing is going to stop. That's right. Nothing at all. Your nursing journey is just that your journey. Facts. Looks different based on goals. Yep. What are the highest paid nurses? Highest paid nurses are CRNAs. CRNAs are certified registered nurse of anesthesia, or what we call nurse anesthetist. So they do anesthesia in operating rooms, or in pain management, or in surgery centers, or all that stuff. So that's what they do. Michelle Curry said retired after 35 years of ER nursing. Shout out to you, Michelle. I'm 35. I don't know how that makes you feel. Yeah. Anyways, shout out to you. First of all, shout out to you for being retired, because I know you out there just loving life. My point is most nurses are above the bar, so to speak, we deal with a lot more than they will. Yeah, I agree. You at work? No, I ain't at work. Why would I be at work? would work have any of this? No, of course not. But no, I'm not at work. I'm actually in my office or my studio or whatever you want to call it. Bless. Some go into nursing for the wrong reasons. You're right. A lot of people do go into nursing for the wrong reasons. However, who are we to dictate why people go into nursing? I'll give you an example. A lot of people. So I'm in the military. For those that don't know, I'm in the Navy. I've been in the Navy almost 16 years. And a lot of people ask why. I used to ask my students before, why did they join the Navy? And I just wanted to know where they come from and what was their why. And I appreciated all of them, because a lot of them were just like, I wanted school to be paid for, or I didn't want to be poor, or I wanted money, or I wanted to do this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. I understand that. I've literally heard people say the same thing about nurses. Nursing was better. I made more money. Cool. But at the end of the day, who are we to say why people join for the wrong reasons? That's an opinion. It's not fact. You know what I mean? So I became a nurse because I legitimately cared and wanted to help people. And I still do. And you can do that in all different shapes and sizes in different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be bedside, because, bedside's ghetto. Just saying. Hey, are you the Kevin with the 7-day NCLEX course? Yes, I am, Olivia. Wait, that name sounds familiar. Olivia, that name sounds very familiar. I think I saw that name pop up somewhere today. All RNs should be CNAs before being a nurse. It makes him more humble. So I used to think that way, but based off of just how things are in the world at User 22, that'll never happen. Taking on my prereqs, almost done with them. I'm hoping to start in the spring. Don't hope, make it happen. So we'll change our verbiage right now. It looks like DX. I can't really see it, but speak things into existence, like say it and it shall be so, right? So not trying to be jaggy, but most RNs are not empathetic like a CNA would be. That depends. But then it's kind of like how kids, like how people are raised. Some people are raised very differently. Like me, I'm empathetic. I'm very empathetic, but it all really just depends. Just watch your paid video, and that is a good amount. Pay for 13 days. Good job on the editing. I actually enjoyed the editing. Like, that was my favorite part. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hey, shout out to all 62 of y'all up in here. Why do I have 60? First of all, why do I have 62 people in here that are not my friend? I need 3,000 people to like me and be my friend so I can start streaming on the computer so y'all can see these NCLEX style questions that I'm trying to put up here. But apparently you don't love me. Whatever. If you don't love me, that's fine. Shout out to y'all. Give me 10,000 likes. Make it happen. Thank you. Go. Who's that? Andreas. Hey, go Horns. Hey, all day, every day. Exactly. Yep. Hey, beautiful. Hey, beautiful people. What's up? Who has the best nurse liability insurance? Shanta, I really couldn't tell you because I don't know. As a CNA, I can sniff a fake nurse with no experience as a CNA at this point. Well, because nurses with no experience are very obvious. Just like if you were a brand new CNA, I would know that you wouldn't know anything either. However, think about it this way. It's just like everybody has certain levels to stuff. So if I put you in a position in the ICU, even as a CNA, like, would you be able to perform some of those tasks? Like, a lot of, like, and this is kind of like where this, like who's better than who, but in reality, like, it's still a team-based sport. You know what I mean? But a lot of people forget about that on all levels, from the doctor to the CNA to the RN to the LPN. Everybody forgets that. So sometimes it takes somebody to kind of rope a motherfucker in. Like, hey, I don't know what's going on here. Hey, but we need to chill it the fuck out, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's me saying that, but I know other people are different because they're just like, oh my God, look at me. I got a degree, so I'm better than you. No, that's not how it is. That's not how it is at all. Should I steer away from LPN? Sean, if you want to be an LPN, that's fine. If you want to be an LPN, that's fine. If that's the road and the journey that you need to take for yourself, then take it. I just got accepted in the nursing class, and class starts on September 25th. Why so late? But shout out to you, Courtney, for getting to school, fresh out of high school, going right into RN. I can tell the difference. If you can tell the difference, cool. We have a Methodist in Fredericksburg. Do you really? Studio. Shout out to the studio. What are remote job opportunities that are out there? So, always loving the USA. Shout out to you, America. Anyways, Air Force, trash. Get out of here. I would recommend going to Instagram and looking up the remote nurse. They post remote nursing jobs all the time. What is it? Let me just tell you, thank you for your service. User 22, I appreciate that. Thank you for your support. It's always appreciated. Wow, your page is growing like crazy. Congrats. Santiago, I appreciate that. Thank you, sir. And it's going to keep growing because that's all I wanted to do is grow, build this community with y'all, like fostering good conversations, critical, good, like we want to, what is it? Not positive critiquing, constructive criticism, right? Constructive criticism. Got accepted. Yep, you already told me that. Oh, 62 people. Woo, woo. Hey, what's up, Thunder? Hey, Thunder. Just, hey, I got NCLEX style questions here. Ghetto. Is the tease hard? I don't know. If you study for it, if you don't study for it, it'll be hard. I just bought it yesterday. I saw your name pop up somewhere, Olivia. I saw that. What do you mean by bedside is ghetto? Just curious. So I say bedside is ghetto is just because, like, depending on your hospital, it's just not where it's at. Krista said, "Hey there, my middle son got into nursing. Got his nursing student badge today. Here we go, round 3. My daughter. Oh, I forgot Krista. Hey, if y'all don't know Krista is like the family, the army family, not actual army, but just the family of nurses. Everybody from her husband, her kids, everybody got it. And now her daughter's doing pre-nursing. So shout out to the whole family of nurses. You guys need like a reality TV show called like The Nursing Family or something like that. Emmy said, but you could help people not as a nurse. You picked a means that have financial security, and that's okay. Yeah, you can. There's all different types of ways you can help people. Nursing doesn't always have to be that way. Majority, you must be the rare exception. I don't know. Just like, okay, retired nurse. Shout out to you, Jackie, for being retired. They got to let us know how that retired life is. I am taking the NCLEX in a few days. Just thought it was cool. You're on TikTok. Yeah, I'm on TikTok, Olivia. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at around 5:30, depending on whatever I got going on. Can you just put RN, not BSN RN? So funny. No, I actually put BSN RN because I felt like it, and that's number one. And number two, usually when you put your names out like that, like they'll be like, okay, well, what RN are you? You don't have to put that, but most people do. Just like when you become a master, because just like when you become a mastery level nurse, or you get your master's degree, or when you get your PhD or you get your doctorate, I mean, that's just what people do. Going to an air show this weekend. Can't wait to watch the Jets. Hey, air shows are the Blue Angels going to be there? Because the Blue Angels always put on a good show. Shy Four says, yes. Who cares? Help anyone to take care of a patient. Yep. I never forget. Even when I was, I never forget when it's like that. A lot of times people do forget where they come from, but sometimes you just got to rope. Yeah, like I said, you got to rope folks in. Teamwork makes the dream work. So tired of nurses eating their young. Tammy, I can tell you right now that the eating the young stuff doesn't fly with me. I've heard some nurses that have been nurses, of course, way longer than I have, and I'm just like, wow. I was like, you really are a shitty person. And they're like, wow. I was just like, yo, that individual just asked for help, and you pretty much just told them to go fuck themselves. Like. And I'm sorry. I'm just going to put this apology out there right now, is that if you don't like my cursing, I'm sorry. But sometimes it's not me cussing at anybody. It's just really emphasizing how terrible that is, because I've had people attempt to do it to me. And then a lot of that came out. And then, now they don't really talk to me. I don't know why. I'm a really nice guy. Shout out to all 66 of y'all. Hey, if you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from. Let me know. And also, I want to know where you're at in your nursing journey. We're trying to foster a good community around here. That nurses eat your young trash doesn't happen in my chat. You act up in my chat, you're getting 600. By that, I mean you're getting banned for 10 minutes. That's what 600 means. 600 seconds equals 10 minutes. But when I ban you, you're banned for good. I'm just saying. I just like saying it. I took it from a guy who I watch on YouTube. His name is the Black Hokage. So shout out to all my Hokages out there, all my anime heads. But yeah, don't act up in my chat. All right, I'm just letting y'all know. I went to chef school for years with a bachelor's. God called me for 17 years, and I've been a CNA. Hey, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I've been watching a lot. I watch a lot of Chopped, and I probably would have liked being a chef. Life took me in a different direction. I've never been more humbled in my life. That's what it'll do. You in Houston? No, I'm not in Houston. In your experience, what would you say is the most challenging task as far as being a nurse? Usually at the beginning, it's your time management. Now the challenging, at least the things that I've seen, are some things that are like unethical that happen, outside of your scope, and you're just like, what? So that's probably some of the challenging things is like you want to try to have the best for people, but then other people that are above you say that can't happen, and you kind of just got to let stuff go. Hi from Cali. What's up? What's up? How do you feel about getting an ADN at a community college? Dion, I'm not even gonna lie to you that if I could have did it all over again, I would have gotten my associate's degree. Sparkle, what's up? Can you believe that they have accredited accredited A&P courses fully online with lab? Yeah, I can. I took when I did A&P 1 and 2, it was hybrid. So now, like, I went to nursing school all the way online. The only thing that wasn't online was clinicals. And then, of course, when COVID happened, all schools, to include clinicals, which is something I didn't agree with, but I understand why because of what was happening, is all on clinical. So bedside is a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. That's facts. How do you study for the HESI exit? Usually, you should have the Saunders book. But there's a bunch of YouTube channels that are out there that can help you study for HESI. Usually the exit HESI consists of like, obviously the accumulation of all of school, but mostly it should be like management of care, if I remember that. Management of care, transition, stuff like that. You earn that BSN, claim it. That's what I'm saying. But even if I didn't, like, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's about the letters. I was like, y'all are worried about the wrong thing. Shy, where you been at? I already knew it. Like, you can't be coming up in here saying Jason Derulo. You want me to start singing it, girl? You the one. I start nursing school on Monday. Shout out to you. You're going to do all right. How do you feel about getting... Oh, you already answered that question. Bailey said, what's up? I'm new here from Tennessee. I'm an SNRA, former CVICU nurse. Yeah, you would come up in here, Bailey, with all that nonsense talking about you a CVICU. No, I'm just playing. Shout out to you. So how do you like CRNA school? I actually wanted to go work in a CVICU, but I was like, nah, I don't want to go there anymore. So I joined your live before, but I'm from Jersey. Shout out to you from Jersey. Started my ADN program on Tuesday. Shout out to you. Any advice for pre-nursing and prerequisites? Get A's. And here's what I say. You want to strive to get A's. Is that for Valeria? Is that how you say your name? Valeria? Get A's. You want to get A's in your prerequisites, especially in your science classes. So A&P 1 and 2, microchemistry, nutrition, human growth and development, all those all those science-based classes you want to get A's in. If you get B's, that's okay. I would not ever strive for C's. Although I know people who have gotten into nursing school with C's, you mess up your GPA. The higher your GPA, the better chance that you have to get into nursing school. Okay. Good morning, Callie. Okay. If you see me and you trying to say what's up, what do you mean? You have a big forehead and it's beautiful. Look, don't be coming for my forehead. I already know. You an essay? I might be. Bars? I might be. As a CNA, I am obsessive compulsive. My patients gain my demise. I will not leave until I am done. Hey, sometimes you just got to do it. Pari says, hi, broke my femur late February. Will I regain full range of motion? I hope so. Have you seen... Oh, Nurse Cass is here. Hey, so shout out to Nurse Cass. I just want to let y'all know. She's the other goon that likes to hang out in my chat. She's been a nurse for, 17 years, does corrections. Also, she works in psych, and she will fight you. So if I give you a 600 of you start acting in my chat, I'm telling you right now, she'll come after you. Just letting you know. Let's see. I'm new and 3 classes away from finishing my pre-nursing associates in GA, and I'm also active Army. Shout out to you, Dia. Shout out to you. Texas Medical Center research programs. Okay, shout out to you, Sprout. I'm such a B student. It's so hard for me, but just need my sciences to start applying. That's it. You need to get A's. You got it. The higher your grade, the higher your GPA, the better chance you have at getting into nursing school. Also, here's a little nugget for y'all, is that if you start volunteering at a hospital, like through the Red Cross or whatever, and then, they end up writing like a statement for you, like a personal statement for you, and then you submit it with your application. Nursing schools like to see that you can volunteer your personal time to going to help people. Just saying. I'm just saying. What nurse does the least work and get paid the most? Man, that's a good question. Maybe somebody else can answer that. What's up, Nikki? How are you? My wife is a foreign nurse wanting to come to the U.S. Any advice? The biggest thing is that she's a foreign nurse and she wants to come to the United States. She should really look at what state she's going to, look at their board of nursing, see what their requirements are. Also look at the National Council of State Boards of Nursing and see what their requirements are. CRNA school is a lot, but I'm enjoying it. Both of my parents are CRNA, so hoping to make them proud. Okay, shout out to you, Bailey, but it ain't about your parents, it's about you. Even though your parents are CRNAs and you want to follow in those footsteps, it's about you. It's about you, what you've done, and what you want to do. Because just because your parents are CRNAs, and now you're walking that line, so now you see how tough that school is, right? But remember, it's all about you. I'm just keeping it real. All right, go write that paper. Your scrubs gave it away. We work in the same, of course. I mean, obviously, but then again, they have Methodist healthcare systems all over the place. They don't only have one just here. Just saying. Echo said, I failed my first NCLEX exam before they changed it on the 3rd, or I'm sorry, January 3rd. Okay. Have been studying, have been having a hard time studying, trying to get back into, I created a study schedule for myself, but I just feel defeated. What should I do? Well, it's not just about your study schedule. Although your study schedule is very important, Echo, you got to think about everything else that's going on in your life, right? So your study schedule, cool. So you know what to study, or you know what you're going to study for yourself. But what about your time management? What about your day? What about your job? Do you have kids? Do you understand NCLEX style questions? Do you understand the new format? Do you understand content? Do you have a content gap? Do you know how to apply your content to NCLEX style questions? What is your environment like? And I say, like, what do you listen to? Do you sit there and listen to music? Do you sit there and, and waste your time, like sitting here on TikTok? Not saying that you're wasting your time sitting here talking to me, because shout out to you for being here. But, there are a lot of things that are encompassed to why people don't make it, or why people feel defeated, right? Like, what do you say to yourself? Do you say like, hey, fuck it, I guess I'll just figure it out. Or do you actually sit down and have a thorough conversation with yourself and say, hey, bro, you need to get it together. Or, hey, ma'am, you need to get it together. You know what I mean? So the one thing I'll say is you got to change your mindset. Number one. Number two, audit your life. Like, what are you not doing? You got to have some accountability. A lot of people try to blame other people and other things for why they don't accomplish certain things. Sorry if you guys hear my co-host. He's in there screaming for something. I don't know why he's always screaming for something. But, you got to think about that. Shout out to all 56 of y'all in here. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Kevin. I go by The Boot Nurse. Check me out on all those social media platforms. All of them are at The Boot Nurse. But if you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. So you're taking the NCLEX, you're a nursing student, you start school soon, you've been a nurse for a while. I want to know all that. Like, we're trying to foster a good environment. Down here in the chat, you guys got any questions? Answer them down there. And I'm pretty sure nobody in here should ever have a problem answering that question. All right. Any jobs outside the U.S. Any jobs outside of country, but with U.S. pay. So there's actually, I know that if you go to like the United Arab Emirates, so if you go like to like Dubai or Qatar or Kuwait or Bahrain or any of those places that are like in the Middle East, I hear for international travel nurses, they pay pretty well. So, did you know if you have a baby at home, it's not called a delivery, it's called, no, I didn't know that. Is it Degorno? No, I didn't know that. That's cool. Is it okay to go straight into the ICU as a new grad? Yes, it is. I went straight into the ICU not right when I got out of school, but like right when I got out of the Navy, because I wasn't allowed to do specific things while I was active duty, so I had to kind of finesse my way in there. But I worked in a burn ICU for 6 months. Then I went into a neuro and medical ICU for like another 7-8 months. So I have a little over a year, like a year and 3 months or so, something like that, of ICU experience. So you most definitely can go to an ICU right out of school. From Hawaii, currently in my first week of nursing school. Shout out to you. You thinking about becoming an NP? No, Bars, I do not want to be an NP. I actually have been going back and forth about wanting to be an NP. I did that for a while, and then I was just like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. So I was really weighing in between doing like informatics or doing nurse education. And now I have solely focused on doing nurse education, and that's the route that I'm going. Alex said, second week of nursing school in Georgia, gaining knowledge everywhere I can. First time in here. Shout out to you, Alex. Hey, I'm just saying I need 3,000 people to like me so I can put these NCLEX style questions up here so that way I don't have to read them to y'all. You see what I'm saying? Alex said, enjoy the content and being blunt. Look, I'm just trying to let y'all know that if I'm not blunt and if I'm not, like, the thing about it is, like, people try to sugarcoat stuff. It's kind of like listening to the nursing school commercials that you hear on the radio or that you see on YouTube or that you see on TV or whatever. If anybody still watches TV, I'm just going to keep it all the way real. Like, there are pros and cons to everything. There are great things and bad things to everything. You know, the job is not always great, but then a lot of times the job is great, especially with the people that you work with. So I'm a CNA and just got on the nursing list. There's no need for you to be nervous, because what's the worst thing that they can say to you if you don't get picked? Sorry, try again next year. Cool, try again next year, or go to another school. Kevin, when did you become a nurse? Before or after COVID? Before COVID. No, actually, I take that back. I graduated in 2018, and then I got my nursing license in June of 2020. So it was like right in the middle of COVID. But yeah, so that's when it happened. I failed my NCLEX PN twice. What is the best way to study? Any suggestions? Does that say Jesse? All right, Jesse, I'm going to tell you right now. Recreate the testing center, number one. This is for that other individual that asked that same question. Recreate the testing center. So don't be on your phone. Don't have no drinks. Don't have no watch. Don't have no nothing. You know, your NCLEX is on the computer. I'm pretty sure there's nobody in here, maybe with the exception of the few that took the NCLEX before 1994, because that's when it changed to the computer based. So recreate the testing center on the computer. Everybody should be doing NCLEX style questions on the computer of some way, shape, or form. That's number one. Number two, audit your time. Like, you need to really audit your time from the time that you wake up to the time that you go to sleep. And then you need to be optimizing that time so you can get efficient study time. You need to study content. Like, whether you believe it or not, you may have a content gap. There's going to be those things that you just don't know. And it's not about memorizing, because there are certain things that you need to memorize, but it's all about being familiar. Like, I expect for you to know that the pH is 7.35 to 7.45. Cool. Everybody knows that. Now, I need for you to know what to do if it is acidotic or if it's alkaline. You see what I'm saying? So do that. That would be my suggestion. Study schedule. Also, with a study schedule, start with the thing that is the hardest. Like, for me, it was pharmacology. So I studied all of pharmacology while I randomized my exams. And then I studied with one section, even though I randomized my exams. And then I went to maternity because that was the second hardest. Flew through it, and then I just did everything else. All right. Let's see. Is there a pay difference in with specialties in relation to travel contracts? Yes, there is. So, you know, a med-surg nurse could get paid, like, we'll say, like, if you did travel, they could pay $3,000 a week. But a CV ICU nurse, if they really are in need of them, they could pay them an extra, like, $5,000 or pay them $5,000 a week. So it all just depends. Glam said, hello, Kevin. I am a level 2 nursing student currently in health concepts. Okay. Shout out to you. Northern California. What's in Northern California? Napa? What else is there? Like the Bay Area, I think. I think education is where you need to be. It shows that you love it. I do love education. Like, I love teaching. For those of you that are new here, I've actually been an instructor for about 8 years. When I was in the Navy, active duty type, I was a surgical tech instructor for 3.5 years. And then I became an instructor for multiple other courses: pre-hospital trauma, tactical combat care, advanced burns, BLS, ACLS. And now I'm also a trauma nurse instructor. So I really, really do like teaching. So yeah, that's just what I like. So, and I guess it does show because I just like to talk about it a lot. I just came in time. You doing NCLEX questions? Of course, Nikki. I got them right here. But I'm trying to get through all these questions. Fantastic. I think education is great too. Facts. Pharm and med-surg are my hardest. They were, and they are. Med-surg, you know, it encompasses the whole body. Pharmacology is, you know, giving medications and how does it safely, you know, affect the body. So what else we got? Yes, education is where it's at. Although I've never worked with you, I feel that. I'm just saying, education is great. Practice taking those NCLEX style questions, right? Will be your best friend. Is Epic becoming more worldwide system? I wish Epic was a more worldwide system, because certain people don't use Epic and it's terrible. Like Meditech, which is like terrible. Just saying. But anyways, shout out to all 31 of y'all up in here. Welcome to the stream if you are new. My name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys check that out. Also, yeah, bars, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Dumbass system. Anyways, but welcome. I want to know who you are, where you're from. Make sure you guys drop that down in the chat. I also want to know where you are at in your nursing journey. If you are a new nurse, new nursing student, and you are starting your nursing journey and you want to get a jump on your NCLEX journey right now, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. That link is in my bio. It's going for $48, 80% off of its current price. You get it. Once you buy it, you get it forever. So if you're one of those people that you don't graduate for like another year, 2 years, like it'll be there for you. Also, just a disclaimer, the course is in its pre-launch phase, aka that is the reason why it is $48, because we are consistently growing with content, with NCLEX style questions, with the review, all that good stuff. So you are an individual who, what I like to call an early adopter. So when the review gets in there, it's going to go over management of care, pharmacology, physiological adaptation, reduction in risk, so on and so forth. And all that stuff is coming. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. Let's see what we got. Meditech is the worst. Facts. There is such a shortage of CNAs / nursing staff and my nursing home. It's sad. So it's honestly, that's everywhere. That's everywhere. And then everybody feels it. Everybody feels it. I can tell you. I didn't even know, like working in the ICU, I got a tech one day and she happened to just be a sitter for a patient that we had that was suicidal. And I remember she came up to me and she was just like, Kevin, I did this, I did this, I did this. And I was just like, what? And then I was like, why? And she was just like, because that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm just like, who are you and where have you been all my life? So, because I'm so used to doing everything by myself, I'm so used to doing everything by myself. Does it come with videos? Yeah. So they're like on-demand lectures. That's what they are. I'm in CRNA. So you're in an sRNA currently. Somebody else is an sRNA here as well. So I'm 52, CNA 17 years. You're 52? Stop playing. You're not 52. Consider being an RN, going to school, but who would be the CNA? They never stick. Well, I mean, because for a lot of people, CNA is a stepping stone. You know that. I'm from Connecticut and about to finish my prereqs and about to apply for nursing school. I'm scared. Don't be scared. What you scared of? What? Burnt. They are? All right, figure it out. It's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Did you want the jalapeno corn?
It's fine.
Mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Baked beans?
Yes. What is it? I'm about, okay, yeah. Don't be scared, Crystal. Don't be scared of that. Hey, I see your question. Stop spamming it. I'll answer here in a second. Hold on. If you were an instructor for RN, I would consider signing up. I like you. You're honest. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Like, what? No, but yeah, so that's also my goal too, is I also, applied to go work at a school, to be an instructor, a nursing instructor, because that's where it starts. I'm not saying everybody has to have my, very assertive attitude, but that's where it starts. It's kind of like where where you get a child and you develop them, you develop them like from the beginning. That's where it starts. If you want to make a change, go to the beginning, go to where you create them. And that is at nursing school. Right. So I try to keep it honest. I try to keep it fair. I humble myself all the time. Like, I understand, you know what I mean? So, I'm preparing to my NCLEX. I've been failing. Okay. So I'm going to ask you, why do you keep failing? Do you have questions which focus on, psychosocial integrity, reduction of risk potential? So I'm actually working on that. I need help with this NCLEX. Okay. NICU, but a new, NICU, or neonatal NP. What does it say? 100% absolutely. Hi, my niece is enrolled in, I don't even know how to pronounce that, for nursing, but had a hard first year. Look, so nursing school is going to be hard regardless. Like, nursing school is hard regardless. It's like learning how to speak a new language. Like getting dropped in the middle of another country, learning how to speak the language, learning how to move throughout the country, learning the culture, so on and so forth. So that's kind of what nursing is. And it will be tough. It will be tough. I told her I'll help her study, but I do recommend, but do you recommend anything? Tell her this. You can search anything on freaking YouTube about like whatever area she's trying to study in. So, I mean, like, there's so many good ones out there. Any healthcare program, Yes, they are. I've not met like any healthcare program that isn't rigorous. I'll give you an example. Like me, I'm a hospital corpsman in the Navy. If anybody knows anything about the military and military medicine for enlisted medicine, hospital corpsmen go with the Marine Corps and they do, field operations and all kinds of stuff with the Marine Corps. And, it's a pretty tough yet rewarding position to do things. And they harp it. It's hard. They harp a lot for corpsmen. Okay, so like even when I went to school as a corpsman, like it was pretty tough. We had a 65 to a 70% dropout rate because the curriculum went so fast, and it was difficult for people to kind of understand that. So any healthcare program is going to be hard. All right. So shout out to all 50 of y'all. Cass said I'm OCD, not a test taker. Have a really hard time being distracted. If you can do it, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And that's true. That's the same thing with me. I'll tell y'all right now, I failed my NCLEX 3 times. I'm about to say 4. I failed my NCLEX 3 times and I passed on the 4th, right? For all y'all that are new in here, none of y'all knew that until I told you just now, unless you went to my YouTube channel and you saw that I failed. You see what I'm saying? Like, that exam does not determine the type of nurse that you're going to be. You see what I'm saying? It does not determine the type of nurse that you're going to be. What's up, Megan? I'm trying to pass MBCOT. What is that? I just failed my second comprehensive and I feel depressed. Okay, so you failed your second comprehensive. So BTS, I'm going to ask you why. Like, why did you fail it? And that's another thing that happens. Like if you come in here and you start telling me, like, don't ever, and I'm not saying that you're not doing this, but don't ever come into my chat and complain about something unless you have a solution. So you'd be like, I'm failing it. I just don't know what to do. And I'm just like, okay, so you're failing it. Why are you failing it? You see what I'm saying? That makes me feel better knowing you can fail, but still become a good nurse. That's facts, Crystal. Like no one in here would have known that I failed my NCLEX 3 times and then passed on the 4th. And then go work in an ICU, 3 of them actually, and then go work in a PACU, and then go work in an OR. Nobody knew that I failed the NCLEX until I tell them. And I enjoy telling them. So, Camila, it depends on the state that you're in, on how many times you can fail. In Texas, I believe it's unlimited amount of times in Texas, but you have up to 4 years from when you graduate or from when you get your first authorization to test. I don't believe that's changed either. So I was so confident and saw my score 70.6. I'm guessing the cutoff score is 75 for occupational therapy assistant. Oh, I'm tracking. I got you. One of my buddies is an occupational therapy assistant. Definitely wouldn't have your bomb ass. Look, I'm trying to say, I'm dropping gems on folks. That's what I'm about. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to all 55 of y'all in here. I take my NCLEX on Wednesday and I'm nervous as fuck. Megs, it's all good. It's all good. It's okay for you to be nervous. I'd be a fool to sit here and tell you not to be nervous. You know what I'm saying? However, to curb your nervousness, if you're taking it Wednesday, I'll give you some game right now. Keep studying, right? On Tuesday, don't do nothing. Put it all away. Put all your study material away. Because if you've been studying like you're supposed to be or like you were supposed to be, you're going to be fine. Like, a lot of people like try to cram all the way up until they can put their shit in their locker, like when they go up and take the exam. But if you don't know it by now, you don't know it at all. I had an instructor tell me that, and he was right. And that's a model that I live by. It may not be a model for you, but it works for me. Because if you have been studying the proper way, and a lot of people are like, what's the proper way? Well, I've already said it. Recreating the testing center. It's just like if you wanted to go out there and be a professional football player, you're going to practice and you're going to see film on the opposite team to know how to beat them. So you already know film on what the testing center looks like. You can't have your phone. You can't have any drinks. You can't have these ribs I got here on this plate. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be on the computer. So why not practice that way? You know what I'm saying? So the day before, don't do nothing. Just relax. Don't drink. Please don't drink. And then, do something that you enjoy, like play a video game or watch anime. Why am I telling you stuff I would do? Anyways, but just think about stuff like that. And it's okay for you to be nervous. It's okay. Sports medicine, good luck. Okay, got you. Love OT, Meg, you got this. What's up, Blanco, Echo? I think that's the hardest part, the negative mindset of failing and seeing others and other people succeed. So here's the thing, Echo. Don't do that. Because it's not, they have nothing to do with you. And here's another thing I'll tell you is that everything is your fault. And I say this figuratively and metaphorically. It's like everything is your fault. But then you're just like, why? Because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Don't worry about them. Their success is not yours. This is you, right? So you'll see other people succeed because that's what's supposed to happen. Be happy for them. They're doing their thing, right? But you're going to move differently because you have to think differently because maybe they're good test takers. Maybe they won't be such a good nurse. You don't know. Not your problem, not your business, right? So the negative mindset is that you have to change your negative mindset. You really, really do. And that starts, of course, with you and what you allow to what you absorb, what you allow yourself to absorb. So if you have negative people, like I can tell you one thing, people kept coming up to me. They were like, wow, like you can't pass this exam. Even though they were kind of being funny, nobody wants to hear that shit. You know what I mean? So I actually, I separated myself from everybody because it was me walking this journey. I had one person that was really in my ear, and it was a mentor who was a nurse who had been a nurse for a while. And who pretty much told me that I'm doing something wrong, and he guided me a lot. So it's, he guided me from up close and then from afar and left me alone. So sometimes that's what it takes. And that's why I'm here, because I like to think of myself as a mentor to whomever decides that, they want to come into my life. It doesn't matter if you've been a nurse for 40 years. It doesn't matter if you're in nursing school or in prerequisites. I don't care. You know what I mean? So hopefully that'll give you a little bit more insight. I've been using Archer, watch all the video reviews, answered 100 questions a day and took notes. Meg, you're going to be fine then. You're going to be all right. Exams are just overwhelming. Yeah, they are overwhelming. But like I said, if you practice on what the exam, on even just what the environment looks like, you're already a step ahead. I have an entire a notebook of notes I took. Man, you got a lot of time. God's timing. Yeah, God's timing. Also your timing. Not everybody believes in God, and that's okay. But hey, it could be on God's timing, but you still got to put the work in. Positive in, positive out. Facts. If you're in nursing school, what job would a student qualify to work at? You're talking about like if you wanted to be a nurse. I'm sorry, if you wanted to like work, you can actually do like, I know they have like nurse externships that you can do as a nursing student to where, like you essentially like work under a nurse to kind of do like nursing things, but you're like a tech type deal at hospitals. I know that they do that. That's what I would like to do is become a mentor for students as soon as I get certified. Why do you got to be certified? You don't have to be certified to be mentors to students. Think about it like this. You could already be a mentor for them because they aren't where you are. So you've already gotten all the way to the end, so to speak, right, Ashley? So people that are at the beginning, you can still mentor them. You don't have to have your certification to mentor them, And sometimes you could mentor them in life. Like you don't necessarily have to mentor them in occupational therapy. I think that's what you said, right? Or sports medicine. You don't have to necessarily do that. Like that'll come secondary. I mean, it may, like I said, like it may feel better, but you don't have to wait until then. You know what I'm saying? So you really wouldn't have to. Would you rather drink a glass of diarrhea or have a horrible sore throat for 2 years? Well, since I'm a nurse, I don't want either. Kelly, why would you ask that question? That's silly. Shout out to all 51 of y'all in here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on this Friday. If you guys have never been here before, welcome. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys go check them out. YouTube, Thread, what's another one? X. Of course, the Instagrams, the Twitters, or what Twitter is X, or whatever. So make sure you guys go over there and check those out. If you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, and where you are in your nursing journey. I know X is wild, ain't it? But are you a brand new nursing student? Are you a new nurse? Are you a seasoned nurse? Like Lowry season, you know what I'm saying? Like the good stuff, go to the cookout type of season, not that other stuff that's not seasoned. You know what I'm saying? So that's Cass, by the way. I'm just letting y'all know she doesn't season her food. I'm just kidding. Usually when she comes in here, I put on Nook If You Buck, but last time I got copyright and I don't want that to happen again. So I want to know all that. Y'all let me know. Hey, if you're a brand new nurse, don't forget to check out the 7-day NCLEX course. It is in its pre-launch phase, which means it is being updated periodically. I actually put 3 videos on there yesterday, and they're content videos. But one thing I will say is that I hear everybody. So anybody that is a student in that course, I hear you. I hear everything that you guys are saying, and I listen to all the feedback, which is why I'm kind of shifting some things, because I was going to put content out there, but I know what y'all want. And so I'm telling people right here, right now, and the email is going to be coming out to whomever is a part of the course, is that I'm working on new generation NCLEX video where I'm going to be going over 100 questions and breaking them down better for y'all to, for people to answer and to at least get familiar with them, to include like other little updates and stuff like that. And then I'm dropping the review based off of the 8 sections of the NCLEX pie. So be ready for that, but you just got to be patient. I'm one man doing all these things. You see this? You see this? These foams? I got them off Amazon. That was just random. I'm just saying, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. By the way, if y'all want me to start doing practice questions that I got right here, you see what I'm saying? So y'all can see them, because some people are visual. I need 3,000 people to like me. Be my friend. Like in real life. No, don't be my friend in real life. Don't be weird about it, okay? So I got 47 people in here. I need 47 shares. I don't care if you shared it a lot. Share it again. And I need 5,000 likes. Cass, hey, I just want to let y'all know that if y'all don't share and if y'all don't like, I'm sending Cass after you. And she'll come into your DMs and she'll fight you. I've seen her do it. She sent me screenshots of posting hands and fighting folks. I thought it was silly. I didn't think she would do it, but something's wrong with her. So there it is. Let's see what we got going on. Just being a goofy goober. Wow, I'm a nurse too. A goofy goober. How about to say this guy? I don't want to do any of those. That's gross. I've had too many code browns in my life. I'm working now as an LPN on med-surg. I'm really procrastinating going back to school to become an RN. Look, hey, Patty, you don't have to go back to be an RN if you don't want to, but you want, hey, there's always goals, and we always set them. Y'all see, hey, I'm going to show y'all something right now. Y'all see that board right there? Goals. Goal. Oh, and that's my finger with my son. Anyways, so RN, ER, 2 years, Louisiana. All right, how long were you an LPN before an RN? So I was never an LPN. I was a hospital corpsman, and in the Navy, hospital corpsmen are equivalent to an LVN or an LPN. So I've been a hospital corpsman my entire naval career, which will be 16 years next month. I became a nurse in 2020, so I'll say 13 years. But even part of that time, I was a surgical tech, so I've done those as well. Ashley, you out here giving roses like the lady that's outside the bar, where people are smoking. I appreciate you. Nursing school, trying to pass that exit Hesse. Shout out to you. You a damn lie, Cass. I'm just playing with you, girl. I'm just playing. Why are you so turned? I don't know why I'm so turned up. Like, I kid you not, I came in here, I was sleepy, and then next I get on this damn thing that we call tic-tac, and y'all be giving me hype. And then some people be asking me just wild ass questions. I'm like, bro, for real? I'm Brian. I was an LPN since 2016 and just became an RN this summer. Shout out to you. I'm currently working at NYU Long Island. Okay. As a float nurse. Hey, so Brian, you're a float nurse. You getting a little bit of everything. So shout out to you. Hi, I'm from San Diego. I'm a health communications major, but thinking about an accelerated nursing program. Okay. I can tell you right now, I would not go to any nursing school just in California because, them prices be wild. So I'm just saying, I was about to say it's all about practice questions. It's not always about practice questions. Like, I would say it's a little down the middle. But if you don't have a good understanding of content, even if you're getting a Q&A bank from somewhere, like, you have to get a good understanding of content. Either it's going to be from school or it's going to be from a review. Either one. I always wanted to visit San Diego, possibly work there. What hospital is good? The only hospital that I know of is the Naval Medical Center San Diego. I loved it when I was there. I went to surgical tech school there. Balboa Park was nice. Everything that I liked, everything about San Diego was nice. Even Gaslamp District was cool. Hell, even the homeless people were cool. I may have bumped into a bunch of them with a bunch of my buddies just drunk, and we sat around and somebody played the guitar. Maybe. Man, that was so long ago. Anyways, but San Diego's all right. The only thing about California, of course, is that it's expensive, man. Like, it's just expensive. So if you know how to live within your means, I think you'll be all right. Dope. I love your energy. Hey, if you don't know, D, I'm like this all the time. Future LPN, that's what I'm talking about. Speak that into existence. It's my world, Virgo. Oh my God, you're a Virgo? I could never. I'm just playing. That was a reference to the seasoning. Oh yeah, my bad. You live in Georgia. You better know how to season stuff. My God, I would love to see more male nurses in my nursing home. We only have one, and he just stepped down. So you want to know what's crazy? In my ICU, when I worked nights, I was the only male, and I was the only black person on my whole floor at that time. So I get it. I hear a lot of people say, I love our male nurses. And I'm just like, really? Oh, okay, cool. I mean, because, for me, I'm just going out and I'm just doing my thing. So sometimes, it's cool, to feel appreciated sometimes. So maybe odd, but I'd rather work with men nurses than women. Look, let me tell you something right now. I'm just keeping it all the way. Women are catty, like 85 to 89% women, 85 to 89% women. And then me and all the other guys got to sit there and just endure. So we just go and hide in corners and be by ourselves while they're clicking over there doing mean girl shit. I'm just keeping it real. Harry and Monica, if someone is graduating in 2025 as an RN, what can they do now to start? What do you mean? Oh, as in like job wise? I mean, you could go and you can work as a CNA. You could be. I mean, there's all different things you could do. If you want to volunteer your time, you can go be a part of American Red Cross, all kinds of stuff. Of course I do. Duh. My whole family is. That's what I'm talking about. Hashtag end racism. Facts. All men, all day. Facts. How does one study in nursing school? These textbook chapters got me stressed. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Is it Kisus? Hopefully I said that right. But YouTube channels. That's one. Is YouTube channels. Hands down. Second thing, get into a group. 3 people. So 4, including you. Split the notes up amongst one another. Like split it up 25%. Google Docs will do wonders. Trust and believe me. And then put your notes together. So you do your share 25%. You get a whole you get the whole pie. You see what I'm saying? So think smarter, a lot harder, and then get into the whole team nursing concept now. Because if you do it now, it'll help you, and it'll help you wonders when you start working the floor. I quit my new grad residency today because everyone would gossip about new grads. I hate that environment. Facts. And it's like that because everyone does that shit. Everyone. And I was just like, hey, if you got something to say it. Or people forget where they used to be. They forget where they come from. And that's the shit that I hate. You do realize that you've been a nurse for 3 years. And they've been here for 4 months or 6 months. Of course they don't get it. Of course they don't get it. But we're in that industrial mentality. Like, hey, everybody, hey, you need to get it or you don't. Everybody learns differently. And, these companies, these administrators, these hospitals, they don't want that. They're like, oh, based on average, maybe you're below average or maybe you're above average. Some people pick up stuff faster. And so user 96, I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you at all. Go to where you feel loved, wanted, needed. People will train you and they're supportive of you. Because trust me, I've seen nurses go from one hospital and go to another, or go travel, or do PRN, or you can do so much other stuff. Trust and believe me. Are you in Houston? Brittany, I am not in Houston. I've been to H-Town though. It's all right. I know what wards not to go to if you really want to know that. So, did you always want to do nursing, or did you have another healthcare career in mind before? So I was a surgical tech for quite some time, user 52. And like I said, I became an instructor for surgical tech and stuff like that. I've always said to myself that if I didn't do nursing and if I wasn't a surgical tech, I would have went X-ray. And by X-ray, I would have went radiology, because I probably would have worked my way up all the way up to MRI. And I'm telling you, MRI techs, when you talk about money, they make some money. I'm just saying. User 22 said, I am in Somerville, South Carolina. Okay, shout out to you. We're up in Vermont, moved here 5 years ago. I only knew one person from Vermont. That's it. I think there's only one person that lives up there. Well, 2 now that you, or a couple, you and your family live up there. I hope you have a good evening and good luck all doing the NCLEX. Shout out to you, Ashley. Thank you for being here. Make sure you follow. Make sure you share. I need 3,000 people so I can do these NCLEX style questions. I'm thinking about respiratory school, but nursing would be interesting too. So, I mean, respiratory school is cool. If that's where you want to go and you want to learn about what is the cardiopulmonaries, everything, cool. Eat oxtail, rice, hot. Look, Cass, now I'm going to need a plate. I am all the average that I need. That's it. Exactly. I hate it, so I quit. So I'm not mad at you. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I cried all day today with my decision. I'm telling you right now, that was the best decision you could have ever made. And I want everybody right now. Everybody right now can agree with that. You made user 92. You made the best decision that you've made. You want to know why? It's because now you have opportunity elsewhere for people that are going to really, truly value you. Left dental assistant after $16 an hour, and everyone thought it was funny to make fun of new hires. I don't get it. I don't get it after about 10 years, right? Or go get your MP. I mean, yeah, you can go get your MP. I personally don't want my MP, so I know I've already said that before. And I had to do dental radiology license in Indiana. Lord of mercy. Very rushed and undervalued. Facts. Rosie says, hi, what's up, Rosie? Problem with respiratory therapy is that there's not as many opportunities later in your career. Yeah, that's true. It's like once you become a respiratory therapist, that's kind of where you stay. So thank you. My mental health was deteriorating after a month being there. I had to go. Once again, like I said, I'll tell you right now that I'm proud of the decision that you made for yourself because, yeah, I believe that you were miserable. However, there are a lot of things that I want for you to take into consideration right now. Number one, you have imposter syndrome. Every nurse or anybody going into a new field will have it. I had it. Cass has it all the time. I'm just playing. Cass, I'm only just picking on you because my other two co-hosts ain't in here. So, you go through that. But even though you go through that imposter syndrome, at no point in time should anybody have to endure, being disrespected while you're trying to learn. Or people just being rude and condescending and not helpful while you're trying to learn. It's like they forget that. You know what I mean? Like they forget that. And that's the thing that I hate the most. What I mean is that there's so many different opportunities as nurses, as a nurse in so many different areas. Yeah, Kevin, you are 100% correct, sir. Seriously, I pray and bless for each and every one of you. May live a life direct. Obviously, I can't read, or either you can't spell, whichever. Probably both. It's all gay. I'm an idealist, so I was disappointed how healthcare workers are treated. I would say being an idealist, yes, but also being a realist because now you see that it's not all fucking sunshines and rainbows that these commercials that everybody talks about. So it's not like that. But respiratory, you can go to perfusion after ECMO. Yeah, you can do that. Like different specialties within respiratory. You can also do that as a nurse. I can tell you right now that if you wanted to go to respiratory school, it's great. And if you decided that you wanted to become a nurse and then go straight to ICU, that's also great because you have a huge leg up on most new grads. Because one of the hardest things about, being a new grad in an ICU is the vents. Me, I went in during COVID and I had to learn vents, and I was just like, well, here we go. And I enjoyed it. I had a respiratory therapist teach me about vents, teach me about perfect hats, teach me about PEEP, and the way that he explained it, I was just like, holy shit. And then I saw it and I was just like, huh, okay. And so he showed me with the vents. He was telling me about the FiO2, telling me about the different vent settings, telling me about the high pressure alarm, low pressure alarm. I saw many mucus plugs just go across the room on the wall. Probably some of the most nasty shit I've ever seen in my life. Okay. So just saying. Respiratory is cool. The one thing with nursing, you have so many opportunities. That's facts. I need you to be my preceptor. Look, let me tell you, is when I worked in the OR, I loved being a preceptor. When I was a surgical tech instructor, I was a preceptor for them. I was a clinical coordinator, clinical instructor. I love all that. So the one thing is like when people are with me, nope. I will go and I will hunt somebody down. I am that pit bull of a person to be like, hey, did you say something crazy to my student? Hey, don't do that no more. I was like, obviously they're trying to learn and you want to be rude to them. I was like, don't be rude to people. Like, stop. I may have been to HR maybe once or twice for the fact of just the tone. So I'm working on that. I'm just saying. But hey, look, I wouldn't have minded being your preceptor at all. I'm just saying I love when I get new nurses or new grads or whatever, even nursing students. I'm like, give them to me, give them to me. So I'm just one of the when I see nursing students hanging out in the cafeteria on lunch, it like my body is just like drag me to them. But I'm just like, no, I don't want to be that weirdo, so I'm not gonna do that. So most people come up to me to be like, hey, I'm like, hey, what's up? So it's not just healthcare that has you're right, it's not. But we're just specifically talking about healthcare. But you are correct. It's honestly, it's just in all fields. That's not one profession that I know to where people are just like, oh yeah, it's great, and where people aren't out there off the handle talking about stupid shit. So after I get an associate's in science, I want to get my BSN. Do you have to take your NCLEX again? No, Crystal, you don't, because once you get your associate's degree in nursing and you take the you take the NCLEX RN. You don't have to take it again for your BSN because it's the same exact test. I'm a new nursing student and I am a tad bit seasoned. And your videos inspire me. Thank you. You're welcome, Dutch. What do you mean you're a tad bit seasoned? I don't know what that means. Did I forget something? Did I say something about seasoning? I did. I did say something about seasoning. When I finish my entry MSN, I want to do OR, but as the nurse first assistant. So, well, is that Troppy Poppy? The one thing I'll say to you is that if you want to be an RN FA, you have to get seasoned. I got you. I got you. Am I in Houston? No, I'm not in Houston. When in order for you to you can go to the OR and you can scrub, but if you want to be a first assist, that would require you to get your first assist certification. There's other schools that do that now. If your MSN program has that, then cool, then you can be good to go. So what does it say? It says be well, Kevin, God bless, thank you for your good vibes and heading out. Okay, thanks for coming by, thanks for the the dialect, I appreciated that. So hope you have a good weekend or a good blessed your good blessed evening and a great weekend. Let's see, you're a goat for that. We need more advocates for respect. I'm just saying, I'm all about it. 52. So Troppy Poppy, true, but there are hundreds of different kinds of jobs for RNs with experience. Facts, there are. Thank you for having me. Good night. Have a good night. So shout out to all 36 of y'all that are up in here hanging out. If you guys are new here, welcome. I go by Kevin, a.k.a. the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys check it out. We're going to be talking about NCLEX style questions at some point when I get there. We're also talking about nursing, talking about the NCLEX, and essentially, ask me anything within reason, because if you start asking me crazy shit, I'm just going to be like, go away. But one of my co-hosts, Nurse Cass, is down there. So if I can't answer any of your questions, she'll answer your questions. Don't ask for medical advice in here because you will get ignored. If you start acting crazy, I will give you a 600. If you don't know what a 600 is, that's 600 seconds, which means that's 10 minutes. And that means you get banned for 10 minutes. And when I say that, I'm just going to ban you forever. So don't come up here acting like a fool. And don't be trying to come up in here and troll, because I like trolls. So I'll troll you back and then I'll just get rid of you. So there's that. If you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. Have you taken your NCLEX? Are you a nursing student, pre-nursing student? Are you doing your prerequisites? All that good stuff. We got a bunch of nurses, a bunch of students, a bunch of people that are down here in this chat. So we're trying to, do the constructive criticism aspect, create great dialogue down there. So whatever you guys have, drop it down there. If you're a brand new nursing student, so if you start school this week, you start next week, you start September 25th, which is crazy to me. And you want to get a head start on your NCLEX journey, which is your licensing journey early, check out the 7-day NCLEX course. The link is in my bio. It's for $48. It's 80% off of the current price right now. It's in its pre-launch phase. So once you buy it, you have it forever. So if you don't graduate school for another year, 2 years, 3 years, hey, who are you to be like, yo, I bought this right at the beginning and this guy had it for $48 and I have it forever? Because I can tell you right now, a year from now, it won't be that way. So make sure you guys check that out. Whatever question you guys have, drop them down here. And so the first thing I'm going to ask you guys as I eat this mini rib, kind of, who wants to do an NCLEX style question? Who wants to do it? Y'all let me know. We're going to do NCLEX style questions. Who want it? Oh, Calliope. Okay. All right, I see you. Calliope said, give them to me. Give them to me. I got you. I need more people to... Oh, okay. Okay. I see y'all. All right. Let's see what we got. Hey, I got two people. Okay, Nikki said Nikki said that's why Nikki here. She like me. Me. All right, Nikki, I got you. Hey, I need 3,000. Look. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna show you right now. Look. Let me see if I can turn this thing around. Will it let me? Probably not. Let me see. Y'all looking up my nose and shit. Look. Y'all see that? I'm gonna show you right now. So look. That's it. That's the NCLEX style question, right? You see, I had to turn. Now everybody got to turn their head so they can see, right? So I'm not holding this thing. I need 3,000 people to be my friend. 3,000. So I'm gonna need for y'all to start sharing this. I'm gonna need. Oh yeah, y'all see that? You see that plate? Oh, it looks so good. Anyways, so I need y'all to share this. That way people know what's up. That way we can get 3,000 people on here and I can stream from here so y'all can see it. You know what I'm saying? So, man, you know what? Oh, God. See the things I do for y'all? You see the things I do for y'all? All right. Let's do it. We're going to do it together. I'll just hold it here. I'll just suck it up and I'll just do this for y'all. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Y'all see the question. We'll read it together. It says, a 16-year-old patient with cystic fibrosis is admitted with increased shortness of breath and possible pneumonia. Which nursing activity is most, keyword, most important to include in the patient's care? Perform postural drainage and chest physiotherapy every 4 hours. Allow the patient to decide whether she needs aerosolized medications. Place the patient in a private room to decrease the risk of further infection. Or plan activities to allow at least 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. What we got? Calliope says A. What do we got? What are y'all thinking? Tell me right now. Calliope, you the only one I want to answer. Apparently, you're the only one that care. Look at that. Who is that? Shelly says A. Nikki says C. Okay. Is it Josh says A. Marty says C. Hospice says A. Okay. Glam says A. All right. I think we got a general consensus. It says, thank you for your input, Kevin. Nursing students wish y'all the best in their journey. Shout out to you, user 92. Shout out to you. Hey, make sure you like, share, subscribe, like I'm talking on YouTube. And come back. We'll do this Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 5:30. You say C. Okay. C. Hey, remember, C's get degrees. All right. I think we got a good enough amount of people. I will figure out what I'm going to do after quitting my job. Hey, because remember, 92, everything is your fault, right? So now you got to figure out how you're going to bounce back from this. And I know that you can. I have nothing but the utmost confidence in you. You got this. All right. So we got people that say A, we got people that say C, so on and so forth. All right. Are we ready? All right. So the answer is, let's see. It's A. Perform postural drainage and chest physiotherapy every 4 hours. Airway clearance techniques are critical for patients with cystic fibrosis. So here's one of the things, like, what is cystic fibrosis? Right? This is where, knowing your content is super important. Right? Everybody see that? Secretions in cystic fibrosis are generally thick, sticky, or more difficult to clear. Frequent airway clearance is a mainstay in the treatment of acute exacerbation, as well as a part of health maintenance in cystic fibrosis. And then, of course, down here we have why these answers are incorrect. Right? You guys see that? Genetic disorder. Yep. Dang, it's okay, Nikki. Hey, here's the thing about NCLEX. You're not going to get them all right. You're not going to get them all right. We all know that, right? We're not going to get them all right. All right. I think we all have a general understanding. Increased secretions, right? So if I have all these increased secretions all up in my lungs, what am I going to do? I got to get rid of them. I got to get rid of all that nastiness, right? Ineffective airway clearance, right? That does that sound familiar, or somewhere in the general vicinity, right? Also issues with digestion. Yep. Also issues with digestion. You're right. But I think we got the general consensus that the answer is A. All right. So we'll go on to the next one. All right. So let's check this one. Somebody read it for me. I'm just kidding. A patient with a pulmonary embolism. All right. So now think to yourself, as you're reading these, what is a pulmonary embolism? And a lot of times our medical terminology will come into play, right? Pulmonary emboli is receiving anticoagulation with IV heparin. Which instruction would you give the nursing assistant? So now we're delegating, right? As the RN, which instruction would you give the nursing assistant who will help the patient with activities of daily living? Select all that apply. Everyone's favorite question type. Everyone's favorite question type. So what are we thinking? What are we thinking? Now let's think about it. You say C and A. Now let's think about it. Somebody that has a pulmonary embolism, right? So they have, like a clot that could go, or clots that are in their vessels that are going to go to the lungs, right? Go all the way through the heart into the lungs, and that's exactly what they sound like when they throw when they throw a PE. And it is the worst and scariest thing that you'll ever see in your entire life. And of course, on anticoagulants, because the anticoagulants will help break the clots up, right? So I have a patient that's on this. So what type of instructions would I give to a CNA or a UAP, right? Use a lift sheet when moving and positioning the patient in the bed. Use an electric razor when shaving the patient each day. Use a soft bristle toothbrush or tooth sponge for oral care. Use a rectal thermometer to obtain a more accurate body temperature. Be assured the patient's footwear has a firm sole when the patient ambulates. ABC. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. This one's kind of hard. Yeah, Calliope, it is kind of hard. A lot of people were saying like the questions I did on Wednesday were easy. So now I get some hard questions. Now people are just like, oh man, now I got to think. All right, we got B, C, and E. We got A and E. We got ACE, ACE. I love it. I love it. All right, so think about it. It's like if somebody's on an anticoagulant, what's the biggest thing that we're going to be thinking about? They're going to be on like what are they at risk for? This is how you break questions down. Yeah, they're at risk for bleeding, right? So this is how you break the question down. This is why I love content. Remember, guys, I had such a huge content gap, and there were things that I just did not get and I did not understand until I started looking at videos and just rereading, portions in the book for me to get a better understanding. Not saying that I was dumb, just saying that everybody just learns differently. So we're at risk for bleeding, right? So we're thinking about falls, what type of razor they can use, would I use a rectal thermometer, stuff like that. So I think we got the general consensus of what everybody wants right here. All right, make sure you guys smash that like button. I love y'all. Hey, Cass, I don't know what you got to do. I don't know if you got to yoke people up. We need 10,000 likes. Hey, on Monday, we got 21,000 likes, 21K. Yo, we need to smash that. We need to smash those likes. And I need 1 million shares so people can see that we're doing NCLEX style questions. This is what y'all want, and this is what I'm giving y'all. All right. So everybody got their answers in. Drum roll, please. Okay, that's really dumb, and I won't do that anymore. So let's see. The answers are A, B, C, and E. All of the other instructions are appropriate to the care of a patient receiving anticoagulants. Risk for bleeding may arise in any condition that disturbs the closed circuit integrity of the circulatory system. Bleeding is the primary complication of anticoagulant therapy and is a risk of all anticoagulants, even when maintained within the usual therapeutic range. Everybody can see that? A, B, C, and E. Let's go back. E, right? Everybody can see that? There goes our questions. Right? Because we definitely don't want to use a regular razor because, the risk for bleeding. Right? And then there's our answers. And then, of course, these are our answers on why. Why we did not pick those answers. Calliope said you get half credit for SATA questions on the new NCLEX, right? So there are certain questions that you will get partial credit, not half credit. So it all depends on how you answer it. So if there are 4 selections, like we'll say like right here, all 4 of these are correct. Let's just say you picked A, B, C, D, and E. So what that will do is that they'll give you a point, they'll give you partial point, partial point, partial point. And then when you get it wrong, it subtracts a point and then partial point. So like if the whole thing was worth 1 point, you could get, we'll say 0.8, if that makes sense. Can I see E again? Yes, you can. Let me see. So according to the NGN, it says some points for yes, you do. SATA is plus or minus points, correct? Okay, I got you thinking. Yep, you got it. All right, we're going to move on. So I just letting you know, I have 25 questions here, but we're only going to go to 10. We're only going to 10. All right, here we go. Now, a patient with acute respiratory distress syndrome, or ARDS, is receiving oxygen by a non-rebreather mask, but arterial blood gas measures still show poor oxygenation. Okay, now paint your picture. Right? Think about your nursing diagnosis, right? Acute. Are they stable or unstable? Right? Respiratory. So breathing, right? And they're on a non-rebreather, not nasal cannula, but the next step after a nasal cannula is a non-rebreather, right? And the ABGs are still poor oxygenation, right? As the nurse responsible for the patient's care, you would anticipate a physician order for which action? Is it A, perform endotracheal intubation and initiate mechanical ventilation? B, immediately begin continuous positive airway pressure or CPAP via the patient's nose and mouth, administer furosemide, or call a code for a respiratory arrest? What we got? What do we got? Shout out to all 40 of y'all being in here. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys share. We're going to go through 10 questions NCLEX style. And I'm also working on getting some case study ones, some case studies. Grace says A. Grace says A. I would say tell me why, but we don't got enough time for that. This isn't a live class. So Thunder says B. Thunder says B. Jay says A. Okay. Calliope says A. Okay. What else we got? What else we got? Hey, if you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. We're doing NCLEX style questions right now. If you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. We got a bunch of nurses, nursing students, pre-nursing students that are in here answering all these questions. I'm telling you right now, I wish that I thought about this when I was in nursing school. I wish I had something like this, but I wasn't even exposed to nothing like this. Not saying I didn't want to, but nobody really told me about this, right? Taking the NCLEX next weekend. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. I know that you're prepared for it. Becca's studying for my NCLEX LPN. Shout out to you. Now, here's the one thing I'll tell you, Becca, is that the biggest thing that's the difference between RN and LPN is who can do what. So what are your roles and responsibilities as an LPN, right? I don't care what state you're in. The National Council of State Boards of Nursing has a standard for all LPNs, LVNs taking the exam. From Pennsylvania, about to graduate from my LPN program next week in NCLEX in September. Shout out to you, Anna. Anna, you got your whole name up in here. You're welcome, Becca. All right, so what are we thinking? We said we got A, we got A. Did I see somebody else put something else besides A? A. Thunder says B with CPAP, okay. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. All right, well, cool. I think we have a general consensus, so we'll do drum roll, and the answer is A. We want to perform endotracheal intubation and initiate mechanical ventilation. A non-rebreather can deliver nearly 100% oxygen. When the patient's oxygenation status does not improve adequately in response to the delivery of oxygen at this high concentration, refractory hypoxemia is present. Usually at this stage, the patient is working very hard to breathe and may go into respiratory arrest unless healthcare providers intervene by providing intubation and mechanical ventilation to decrease the patient's work of breathing. So I can tell you right now, when you see that, like a lot of this happened during COVID when I worked in the ICU, you see people struggling, like everything that you read in a book where they're trying to get into a position of comfort. They're having labored breathing, their O2 saturation's dropping, so on and so forth. This would be it right here. So I'm actually working. I have a respiratory section that I'm actually that's going to go into the course in mechanical ventilation and acute respiratory failure and all that stuff, like working on those lectures as well. So those are all going to be going in there. So how do we feel about that? Let's see. Thanks. I know I said, let me say B. They be dead with me. Not to stop it. From Pittsburgh, LPN, 13 years, RN, graduated, failed my NCLEX RN 3 times. That's okay. So you failed 3 times. My next question to you is, when are you going back for your 4th time? And then how are you going to improve from the 3 failures that you already had? You've probably never been here, right? This is probably your first time in here, I think, maybe, because your name doesn't look familiar. But I failed my NCLEX 3 times, NCLEX RN, and I passed on the 4th, right? So if I can do this, you can do this, all right? So here we go, going for the next one. All right, here we go. A patient with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. A client has that, or a patient has that, whatever you want to call them. Which intervention for airway management should you delegate, right, to a nursing assistant, or we'll call them the UAP, right? Assist the patient to sit up on the side of the bed, instruct the patient to cough effectively, teach the patient. So usually when I see words like that, for people like that, I stop. However, when you practice, read it. You know it's already wrong based off of that. You know it's already wrong, but read it all the way through anyway. Read it all the way through anyway, because you get into the habit of reading answers all the time, okay? And then D says auscultation of breathing sounds every 4 hours, right? So everybody's saying A. This is kind of a gimme, right? Now, I want you to think about this. The NCLEX has different levels of questions, right? They have the remembering, so on. They have remembering, analyzing, application, so on and so forth. Do you think that this is an NCLEX style question that is a passing question? Do you think it is a passing level question? Before I go on to the answer, do you think they will never put auscultation or teach for the NCLEX? Hospice says yes. No, level 1 question. It very much is a level 1 question. Now, this is not to scare you. I am being very honest, and this is reality. If you get questions, like everybody, you should already know what COPD is, right? Pathophysiology, when you're going into med surg, when you're doing fundamentals, you should already know what this is, right? Delegation. I delegate as the RN to a UAP. We know they can't teach because that's teaching. We know they can't teach because that's teaching. They cannot auscultate breath sounds every 4 hours because they cannot assess, right? They can assist, right? However, based off of how this question is written, do you think that this is a passing level question? And the answer is no, it is not. Okay. And so, as you guys already said, the answer is A, right? Because they can do activities of daily living, right? They can't educate, but they can reinforce, right? Assisting patients with positioning and activities of daily living is within the educational preparation and scope of practice for a nursing assistant. Some examples of tasks and aspects of care that can be delegated legally to non-professional, unlicensed assistive nursing personnel, provided they are competent in these areas under the direct supervision of the nurse. When it says nurse, it means RN, right? Because RNs can delegate, right? Including assistance with transfer, range of motion, feeding, ambulation, and other tasks such as making beds and assisting with bowel or bladder functions. Because it's considered, is that Felicity? Because it's considered a level 1 question, or like a remembering question. Everybody should know what COPD is. Like, you talk about it in nursing school. It's part of fundamentals. It's part of health assessment. It's even part of pathophysiology or health alterations, right? And then we understand that as a nurse, we delegate to them. Now look at the caliber of the question. No one got it wrong. So look at the caliber of the question. All right. So there's that. We got that one. We'll move on to the next one. Let's see what we got. Hold on. I'm going to try to catch up on some of the things y'all are saying. Explain equals teach, monitor, assess, correct. Remember, don't let those words, don't, they throw out those words that are in there too. That could be, that'll throw you. Like, they'll be like, oh, instruct. They'll be like, but is that teach, so on and so forth. So you guys see a lot of delegation here, right? I pulled a lot of these from management of care because management of care on the RN, on the NCLEX RN is the largest section on the NCLEX, and coordinated care is the largest section on the NCLEX PN. Okay. Let me see. Let's see. Oh, don't worry, LPNs. I got some stuff in here for y'all. Oops. Let me see. You're right, Jay. That question is very easy. But the reason why I'm going to give you guys an example of why I put it in there. When I took my second NCLEX, right, and I got to 265, let me tell you something. That was the worst feeling I think I ever felt in my entire life, right? And so I started getting questions that were this easy. Wait, where am I going? That were this easy. I started getting questions this easy, right? And then instantly when I was just like, whoa, like, why am I getting a question that's this easy? You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. Slow down, take your time. Yes. So coordinated care is part of the NCLEX pie for PNs. My screen is frozen. Oh, I was like, what you want me to do about that? I can't fix your screen. All right. I see some people already answering, but I'll go ahead and I'll read the question right now anyway for everybody to so we can kind of, get some dialect going on here. A patient with sleep apnea has a nursing diagnosis of sleep deprivation related to disrupted sleep cycle. Which action should you delegate to the nursing assistant or UAP? You will see UAP on the NCLEX. Okay. Discuss weight loss strategies such as diet and exercise with the patient. Okay. Teach. You already know it's there. You already know that it's there, and you already know that it's wrong. But you're gonna read it anyway. When anybody that goes and takes their NCLEX, I want you to hear my voice when you see any type of question that involves delegating with a UAP. Hear me, and then I want you to come back here and tell me, "Hey, I heard your voice the entire time, and you was right." Right? Teach the patient how to set up the BiPAP machine before sleeping. C. Remind the patient to sleep on his side instead of his back. And D. Administer is that modafinil? Modafinil. There you go. To promote daytime wakefulness. Everybody's saying C. I see people just slaughtering C, right? So we'll just go ahead and we'll read that one now. And of course, the answer is C. The nursing assistant can remind patients about actions that have already been taught by the RN. We'll say nurse, but this is the RN, and are part of the patient's care plan. The right person must be assigned to the right task and job under the right circumstances. Y'all remember those, right? Whoopsie. There's 5 of them. Right? Where it says the nurse who assigns the task and job must then communicate with and direct the person doing the task or job. The nurse supervises the person and determines whether or not the job was done in the correct, appropriate, safe, and competent manner. So once again, pretty good, pretty easy question, right? Think about, and then a lot of times, this is what I tell people. If you don't understand the question, read the answers all the way through, right? Read the question. You don't understand it. Read the question again. Then go to your answers. Read your answers. A lot of times your answers will help you understand what the question is asking. Okay. Think about that. All right. Let's go to the next one. So now we're at 6. Hey, we got 4 more questions after this. I'm only doing 10. After a change of shift, you are assigned to care for the following patients. Which patient should you assess first? Right. This is a management of care question. Right. So let's see. A 60-year-old patient on a ventilator for whom a sterile sputum specimen must be sent to lab. A 55-year-old with COPD, and a pulse ox reading from the previous shift of 90% saturation. A 70-year-old with pneumonia who needs to be started on IV antibiotics. Or D, a 50-year-old with asthma who complains of shortness of breath after using a bronchodilator. What we got? What we got? Did you say C? No, this is for the next one. I thought you said C, Thunder. I'm like, what? Let's see what we got. Hey, shout out to all 59 y'all up in here watching us do NCLEX style questions, talk about nursing stuff and asking me anything that you want and all that good jazz. If you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys check me out on YouTube, Instagram, X, go and give it to you, and Thread. I also have a Facebook page. It's called the Boot Nation Facebook page. If you go on Facebook and you look at it, you'll see it there as well. If you're new here, I want to know who you are, where you're from, where you're at in your nursing journey. If you're a brand new nursing student, I want you guys to check out the 7-day NCLEX course going for $48. Get a jump start on your NCLEX licensing journey now. You get it now, you have it forever. Every update, it's in its pre-launch phase, so I'm updating it periodically. I actually updated 3 videos or uploaded 3 videos yesterday, lecture-based, and working on getting that review up there, as well as studying some NCLEX style question videos. So it's kind of like this, but those questions are going to be Gucci out here. So everybody says D. I think that's the general consensus. We'll see what the answer is. And the answer is D. A 50-year-old with asthma who complains of shortness of breath after using a bronchodilator. The patient with asthma did not achieve relief from shortness of breathing after using the bronchodilator and is at risk for respiratory complications. This patient needs are urgent. In particular, a patient who is chronically on short-acting beta-2 agonists risks not achieving the same relief from their medicine as they once did. This phenomenon is called receptor downregulation. I'm trying to read it off both the screens, so I'm trying to figure out my life. It happens because a portion of the receptors targeted end up being inactive by the body due to overuse. All right. Ooh, let me see what you guys are asking up in here. D. Almost done with my LPN program. Shout out to you, PJ. Hospice nurse, you said, I'm new, hope to take the NCLEX in October. Don't hope, do it. It's just like doing, it's like, hey, you do or you do not. There is no try, right? Bringing out a little bit of Star Wars up in here for y'all. I want to be a nurse. That's cool, Jana. I want to be an astronaut. So, I said Jana. Jenna, if you want to be a nurse, go be a nurse. I don't mean that to throw shade. I just saw that how you said it. So it's like, if you want to be a nurse, put in the work to be a nurse. I got you, though. I'm currently a paramedic considering going to nursing school. Okay. Is it Bentley? Hey, Bentley, if you want to go be a nurse, bro, go be a nurse. Do you, bro? True, I will. Facts. Bombay says, hello. I'm a first timer in nursing school. Shout out to you. Welcome. Make sure you share. Make sure you follow. I'm going to start incorporating NCLEX style questions. Maybe not every day, but maybe like once a week. We'll try to do something like that. Get it all over here. My GPA is super low. Well, you better bring it up. Wish I could start over. You can start over. I don't know what you mean. I failed my math competency today. Okay. So what are you going to do to fix that? What are you going to do to fix that? All right. So here's the thing. Y'all don't come into my chat complaining unless you have a solution. I'm telling you right now. Like, don't come in here complaining, telling me about something that happened to you without you coming in here telling me and everyone else in the chat how you're going to fix it. Like, there's one thing about me. I don't coddle. I failed my NCLEX 3 times. I do not coddle. You tell me that you failed, I'm going to be like, cool, I understand. Now, what are you going to do to fix it? I'm 47, thinking about going to LPN in December. Your age has nothing to do with you accomplishing, you getting your degree, your diploma, your anything, right? Your age is not a factor. It is not. You can accomplish the same goal as a 21-year-old or somebody who's in their 50s, who I went to school with, who was an LPN and ended up becoming an RN. She was an LPN for like 20 years. You see what I'm saying? So your age has nothing to do with it. Don't come in here complaining without a resolution. This is just tough love because it's the same love that I was given. And I'm going to give the same thing to y'all. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys like. And why do I only have 3,000 likes? Yo, I need like 10,000 likes. What are we doing out here? Hey, make it happen. Let's do it. Hey, smash that like button right now. Smash it. Smash it right now. Hey, how about this? If y'all can get me to 20,000 likes, or if y'all can get me past 21,000 likes, like I had on Monday, I'll do all 25. How about that? I'm just saying, do you want it? Yay, nay? I'm just saying. Kind of like Spartacus, or like this, whatever. I'm just saying, hey, I'm just saying it's up to y'all. All right, so number 7. After the respiratory therapist, speaking of respiratory therapists, after the respiratory therapist performs suctioning on a patient who is intubated, the nursing assistant measures vital signs for the patient. Which vital sign value should the nursing assistant report to the registered nurse immediately, right? Which one? So heart rate, 98. Respiratory rate, 24. Blood pressure, 168/90, or tympanic temperature of 101.4. What we got? I'm not even going to lie to you. Not even going to lie to you. When I answer this question, I got it wrong. When I answered all 25 questions, I got a 72%. But I know for a fact I got this question wrong. So we got some C's, we got some B. And here's the thing. I love being transparent with y'all because people think that just because I know how this format is and I'm not perfect. But you got to remember, when you take the NCLEX, you don't have to be perfect. You have to know what everyone else knows. That's number 1. And number 2, it's based off of a 0 to 100% scale, and all you need is a 50. You need above a 50. What other tests do you know that you need essentially above a 50% in order for you to get a whole license? I'm just saying. Man, we got a whole bunch up in here. Is that LP and NCLEX or these are just a mixture of NCLEX style questions, and it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna tell you right now, PJ, is the thing about it for LPN is that you can answer this question the same. But the thing about it that separates the RN and the LPN is who can do what. Like, what is your role in this whole thing? Like, what can you do and what can't you do? What can you accept and what can't you accept? Right? What are your tasks that you can do? So on and so forth. You can answer like LPNs, like a lot of these are perfectly within your scope of practice. All right. Hey, look, y'all are all over the place. The one thing I know that y'all didn't pick was A. So I see some C's, some D's, some B's, some C's. A lot of the grades that I got when I was in prereqs. A lot of the grades some of y'all got in prereqs. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what we got. B, C, and D. Kevin, sir, you can only pick one. You can only pick one. I know what you're going to. It's which one is right and which one is more right. I got some C's. I got some D's. Sign between B and D because D is for infection and B is above range. B is wrong. Of course, patient would have a higher respiratory rate right after suction. Now, you are correct. But also, you got to think about this. It's like, remember, this is perfect world. So whatever you may be doing out there in the real world is going to be different from perfect world. New generation NCLEX is still perfect world, but they just give you essentially everything that you need when you have your questions, such as like when you're doing your case studies. Okay. Let's see what we got. B, C, D. D because it's the only unexpected finding. Okay. All right. I like where your head's at. D is right. Marco says D is right with an exclamation mark. Look, you a little aggressive there. Sir. But I got you. Sam says infection. Say B. Humble. You can't. There can only be one. C. Widen pulse. Pulse pressure. Fever shows infection is brewing. Okay. So are we focusing on ABCs? We're focusing on what needs to be immediately talking about. So obviously, let's think about A, right? You got respiratory, right? But then you have to think about what was the, not saying mechanism of injury, but what is happening? You have a respiratory therapist who performs suction on a patient who is intubated. So if I perform suction on somebody that's intubated, what would their respiratory rate look like? BP. So you can definitely go down the ABC route. D. Man, y'all are all over the place. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I love it. Cause I'm all about being real. Sam says D. Okay. I got you, Sam. I got you. Becca says hi. Are you telling me hi? Are you high? Or are you saying something's high? Well, I don't know. I just got the last part of that. Hey, shout out to all 93 of y'all up in here. If you guys are new, we're going over NCLEX style questions. My name is Kevin. I go by the boot nurse, and I'm just trying to help everybody get the answer. Okay, all right. I'm just trying to make sure everybody gets their fair pick. Okay, so the answer is it is D. The temperature to tympanic temperature of 101.4. That's febrile, right? Infections are always a threat to a patient receiving mechanical ventilation, right? The endotracheal tube bypasses the body's normal air filtering, I'm trying to combine words, mechanisms, and provides a direct access route for bacteria or viruses to the lower part of the respiratory tract. All right. How we feel about that? Look, all right. You know what? Let's look at why these were wrong, because this is one that literally stumped me because, hindsight's 2020. I'm going off of my nursing brain. And then I was just like, okay, 101. Okay. This patient has, probably ventilator or VAP, ventilator assisted pneumonia. That's what I'm thinking in my head. Right. And so, but then I was just like, well, that blood pressure's high. But is it terrible? No. And it's probably like that because we did suctioning of the patient. So patients don't like it. They don't like it at all. It's not good. What? Again, dead with me. No, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No, look, it's okay. It's okay. Right? Remember, this is perfect world. When you get out there in real life, things will be slightly different. All right. So what does it say? For option A, the normal range used in an adult in between 60 and 100 beats per minute with a rate of above 100 being too fast, of course, and then the rate below 60 being too slow, referred to tachy and bradycardia, right? So we already knew that one wasn't it. Nobody picked that one, right? I was doing questions on UWorld and kept getting them wrong, so I shut my Let me stop laughing. Because I know how that feels, because I've used UWorld like 2 or 3 times, right? But that's what, like, sometimes when you get frustrated, sometimes you just need to take a break and you need to step away from the computer, okay? For B, the normal breathing rate is 12 to 20 for an average adult. Tachypnea is described as a respiratory rate of being more than 20 breaths per minute. Pathological conditions like pain, pneumonia, pulmonary embolism, asthma, foreign body aspiration, anxiety conditions, sepsis, carbon monoxide poisoning, and diabetic ketoacidosis can also present with tachycardia. So our patient has a fever and they're intubated. So that's pneumonia. I'm thinking of VAP, right? So, and then of course for C, we got blood pressure is an essential vital sign to comprehend with hemodynamic conditions of a patient. Unfortunately, though, there are a lot of interpersonal variabilities. I don't know how to say that. When measuring it, all healthcare providers should be aware of making sure all the essential prerequisites are met before checking the blood pressure of the patient. All right. So not even gonna lie to you. I picked blood pressure just because and I was between C and D, just like everybody else. All right. So I'm just saying, don't beat yourself up. This is why when you practice in this way, in this capacity. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. UWorld is hard. I use Archer. Archer's pretty good. I like Archer better than UWorld. I actually do too. Laugh out loud. Wait, hold up. Y'all saying some stuff up in here. Okay, so you shut the laptop. What else did you say? What else you got going on up in here? It be like that sometimes. It really do. Breaks are good and needed. Facts. But the thing about it is, like, the more endurance that you have, the better. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The more endurance that you have, the less breaks that you have to take. The more endurance that you have, the less breaks you have to take when you go and take your exam. AKA, remember, your exam is timed. You have 5 hours and 5. There's my thumb. But 5 hours, and it does not change. I mean, it does not stop. So if you go take a break and you're gone for 20 minutes, 20 minutes will elapse from your exam. So that's 20 minutes that you lost. So, but you want to build that endurance. UWorld is hard. I use Archer. Yep. Archer is or was cheaper than I used it. Yeah, Archer actually still is cheaper. I think it's like $90 or something like that. What else? Archer is I'm having glitches on my account. Some of their questions are absolutely ridiculous. I've seen that too, but hey, at least you have something to compare it to. I didn't like Archer because I got 4 high readiness assessments and still failed. Well, Ash, your review could be part of the problem, but how many RN questions? Are you asking how many RN questions are on the NCLEX or how many RN questions am I going through? Like, you got to give me a little bit more context. Need help to pass the exit HESI. Well, we already talked about that. Archer intense prep is good. Do you this? Do I what? I'm assuming you're asking me, do I do this every day? I don't do this every day. This is actually my second day. This was highly requested. If you guys, you know what, guys, thank Thunder for this because Thunder asked and I was like, I got you. So, and for the NCLEX, for NCLEX RN, you have a minimum of 85 questions, a max of 150 questions with a total of 5 hours to take it. Y'all are already answering. Y'all are already answering. You didn't even let me read it, but I'm gonna read it right now. An experienced LPN under the supervision of the team lead or team leader RN is providing nursing care for a patient with a respiratory problem. Which actions are appropriate to the scope of practice of an experienced LPN? So which actions are appropriate? So if you really wanted to rewrite that, it's just like, what can the LPN do? Right? So you got to think about it. It's like, this is where you learn when you learn about the management of care and who can do what. Some of those things, like their tasks that the RN, the LPN, and the UAP can do, those are the type of things that you memorize, right? Because now it helps you answer the questions better. So I hear people saying, let me see. Do I have, no, I don't have HESI-based questions. However, HESI-based questions are NCLEX style questions. They create their own questions, of course. Let me see what you guys said. You say ABE, all but C. Okay. Marco says ABD. A and B only. Oh my God, your godsend. ABE notes. ABE notes, sure. About D. Hey, I got you, Hope. I got you. Bank, is it Bank Abby? Bank Abby. Abby, you work at a bank or what? She chose A and B. Got A, B, A, B, A and B. I struggle to read sideways. Look, I struggle to read sideways. I'm trying to look. If I had 3,000 people that like me, I literally could be streaming this from here and y'all would be able to see it. But nobody likes me. So I need all 120 of y'all right now. I need 120 people to like me right now. Be my friend. I got snacks. I got jokes sometimes. Okay. So, I need y'all to like it. I need y'all to share it. Right. I need over 21,000 likes because apparently y'all don't want to get these questions. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I got ABDE. Brenda says AB. You can't delegate, eat. Let's see who else. They do not eat, evaluate, assess, and teach. AB only. RN, ADPI, LPNs can't administer without prescriptions. Let's see. AB, ABE, AB, AE. Somebody said B and E. He got food. I do got food. I do got snack. I got food right here. I ain't even touched it. It's cold. Thank God for a microwave, right? All right. I think y'all are pretty much all over the place. All right. So this is the great thing about select all that apply. And of course, with the answer, it'll give you the rationale. But when it comes to your select all that apply, when y'all are practicing, yes, you are going to read the correct answer, but you better also read the incorrect answers and why they are not the correct answer, because that right there will help you understand the concept of this question, as well as helping you understand why it's wrong. And you may even see another question that's like this, but it's rewritten differently with the same type of answers. Okay. Let me see what y'all are talking about. I'm gonna give y'all the answer. Hold on a second. Treat it as a true and false. Yeah, you could do that. LPNs can give meds except IV meds. Correct. I just graduated with my OPN last week, just waiting to take the NCLEX. Shout out to you, Tina, Bobina, Banana, Banana. All right, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. Tell us the answer now. Wow, you're so demanding. Like, can you put a smiley face after that? God, Natalie. Anybody ever seen The House Bunny? Doesn't matter. Can you turn the screen? No, I can't turn the screen or else no one's going to see it. So, because if I turn the screen, it looks like this and you can't see it. And that means I have to back up, and I don't want to do that. So, there we go. I take the NCLEX tomorrow. Future nurse. Hey, you might as well just change your name to nurse right now. All right, so here we go. A and B. All right, let's see. Appropriate decision related to the successful assignment of care are accurately based on the needs of the patient, the skills of the staff, and the staff's position description or job descriptions, the employing facilities, policies, and procedures, and legal aspects of care, such as the state's legal scope of practice for nurses, nursing assistants, and other members of the nursing team. Now let's see why these other answers, or why these answers were correct. So option A, the experienced LPN is capable of gathering data and making observations, including noting breathing sounds and performing pulse ox. The scope of practice for the LPN or LVN will most likely include the legal ability of this nurse to perform data collection, plan, implement, and evaluate care under the direct supervision and guidance of the registered nurse. So can all my people that are in LPN school right now, right? You can assess under the supervision of an RN, right? And you got B, administering medications, such as those delivered via MDIs, is within the scope of practice of an LPN. Based on the basic entry educational preparation differences amongst these members of the nursing team, care should be assigned according to the level of education of the particular team member. So the correct answers are A and B. Now, if you go down to C, I don't know if you guys want me to read them. Probably not. You guys can all read them anyway, but I'm just saying. Let me see what we got. Do you know where I can find HESI-based questions? You can find HESI-based questions. I think anything Elsevier. So like it's Elsevier. I'm trying to think of like what the website is, but you can actually find HESI books. And with their books, they come with like the codes, and they actually have like NCLEX style questions and stuff like that. Me personally, I never liked HESI, and I think it was just because when I was in school, they kind of just threw stuff at us versus like we're really trying to help us and teach us and so on and so forth. So it's Elsevier, it's Evolve, correct? Yep, Joanna, you are correct. Let me see what y'all are saying, oh my God, hold on, let me see. Just eager to learn, sir. No, I got you. Felicity said, yeah. What else we got going on here? Yeah. Are you saying yes because you got it right? Like Daniel Bryant? I learned so much here. I'm glad, Sam. I'm glad you're learning right now. You all remember EAT? I know. I mean, I remember EAT. I got food right here that I ain't touched yet. Oh my goodness. Website is Evolved. Quizzes has HESI questions. Yep. LPNs can't give its meds. What you mean? It's Evolved, but you need a facility to facilitate it. Unfortunately, yeah, that's terrible. Quizlet has HESI questions. I don't like Quizlet. I don't even recommend anybody use Quizlet like that, to be honest. But I mean, to each their own. I have a suggestion. Are you able to do it portrait? But I don't even know. Let's see. Nope. That's as far back as it goes. Whoops. Yeah, everybody thank Thunder. Thank Thunder. All right. We're going to go on to the next one. All right, here we go. The charge nurse. All right, think of the position. Think of who this is. The charge nurse is making assignments for the next shift. Which patient should be assigned to the fairly new nurse, 6 months experience, pulled from the surgical unit to the medical unit? Is it A, a 58-year-old on airborne precautions for tuberculosis? Is it B, a 68-year-old just returned from bronchoscopy and biopsy? C, a 72-year-old who needs teaching about the use of an incentive spirometer? Or is it D, a 69-year-old with COPD who is ventilator dependent? What we got? Got. What we got? What we got? We got 90 folks up in here answering questions. Let's see what we got. Got C, stable. Okay. C, A. Look, hey, I hope I had at least 100 people that, like me and want to be my friend because, I'm I'm going to start streaming it. I'm going to start streaming it from my computer, this computer right here. You know the funny thing about it? You can't stream from your computer with TikTok Studios on a Mac. It's crazy. Luckily, I got both. The most stable patient, bronchoscopy. Lewis, is it Lewis or Luis? Louis Scott says bronchoscopy, which is B. Okay. What else we got? What else we got? What else we thinking? What else we got? I don't know why I feel like singing that song. Savage Love. I don't know why. Don't worry. I think I heard it on the radio today. I think that's why. And I don't even listen to the radio like that. All right. Is PT what? What are we talking about? Is PT what? ISPT. I don't know. RESPCT? What you mean? Talk to me. All right. We're smashing that like button. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, I see you. Incentive spirometer. Gotcha. Okay. Incentive spirometer. Very basic. Okay. I'm tracking. Gotcha. You say D. Carrie says C. Amelia says D. Okay. All right. So I think we got enough answers. And on that one, the drum roll, please. Okay. I won't do that no more. The answer is, whoa, I went the wrong way. My bad. The answer is C. Just like everybody said, the answer is C. Many surgical patients are taught about coughing, deep breathing, and the use of incentive spirometer preoperatively. The needs of the client must be competently met with the knowledge, skills, and abilities of the staff to meet these needs. In other words, the nurse who delegates aspects of care to other members of the nursing team must balance the needs of the client with the ability of those to which the nurse is delegating tasks and aspects of care. So, yeah, you're right. It is C. So shout out to everybody that picked C. What's it? Kevin, hope you're having a great night. Thanks for the help. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys like. Make sure you guys follow. If you guys are new here, welcome to the stream. I go by Kevin, by the AKA the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. Make sure you guys go over there and follow me. If you know anybody that needs stuff like this, make sure you share it. Give me a follow, all that good jazz. Also, if you know somebody that needs this and they missed the live, they can check out my YouTube channel because every video that I post is going to go up on my YouTube channel. And I'm pretty sure YouTube is going to have a fun time with me with my video not turning itself or orienting. People are going to be like, what the hell? I'm like, my bad. But definitely we'll make the stream a little bit better. I know some people are irritated with it being like this. Trust me, I don't even want to hold this. I said I wasn't going to hold it, and I've been holding it for I don't know how long. So shout out to everybody that's sticking and rocking with me. Shout out to all 84 of y'all. So we're going to go over to one more question. I got 11,000 likes. I guess I couldn't get enough likes. I guess we couldn't get enough likes to get to all 25. So it's all good. We're going to jump back into this. So question 10, last question. The high pressure alarm of a patient's ventilator goes off. When you enter the room to assess the patient who has ARDS, the oxygen saturation monitor reads 87%, and the patient is struggling to sit up. Which action should you take next? A, reassure the patient that the ventilator will do the work of breathing for him. B, manually ventilate the patient while assessing possible reasons for the high pressure alarm. C, increase the fraction of inspired oxygen on the ventilator to 100% in preparation for endotracheal suctioning. D, insert an oral airway to prevent the patient from biting on the endotracheal tube. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got, y'all? What do we got? Right? Yeah, don't send them straight off on the bed. That would be. Tika said, I'm new here. Welcome, Tika. Make sure you follow. Make sure you follow. You share it. Give it a like or smash the like button. Whatever you want to do. Whichever. Sarah says C. Hospice says C. C question mark. I don't know. Maybe. Josie says B. Is it DeWood says B. Amelia says B. A says B. Felicity says D. Thunder is totally guessing B. Okay, I got you. Who is that? Pretty Blue says C. Is it Cool Winder? Did I say that right? Probably not. I probably butchered that, and I'm sorry. Says A. Wait, what is the high pressure alarm on the ventilator? The high pressure alarm. So essentially where, I'm not going to tell you. I'll wait, Calliope. See, you almost made me give you the answer. Look, over there fishing. Maybe D, seems blocked. Is it Flora or, yeah, Floor says C. Glam says B. Camila says B. Future nurse, almost nurse says B. Okay. What else we got? Becca says B. High pressure, or I'm sorry, high alarm always related to ventilator. Yep. I don't even know why I'm turning that way. Are they trying to clear their airway with a high pressure alarm? So remember, no more, no less, right? So go off of what they're asking you. The high pressure alarm is going off, right? So you got to think to yourself, if you remember from mechanical ventilation, right? Sorry, I'm in my third semester and we only just now started learning about ventilators today. That's okay, Calliope, because you know how helpful this is for you, because you're just like, I've already seen some, now you're kind of seeing how the format of the question could be when you go and take your exam. You know what I mean? All right, so we say B, all right? Everybody says, I got some B's, I got some C's, I got some D's, I got some E's. There's no E's in there, but shout out to y'all if somebody picked it. All the above. I had one person say Jesus, and I was just like, well, I guess you can't go wrong there, but you can't pick that all the time. Who is it? Nicole says C. Well, Nicole, you said B and C. First of all, which one is it? Is it B or C? Calliope says B. Okay. Whoops. Takia says C. Sandy says B. Okay. All right, I think we got a general consensus on what's going on here. Shout out to all 93 of y'all. If you guys have not liked, make sure you guys like. We're doing NCLEX style questions, and we're kind of breaking them down so everybody can understand on what's going here. Nicole says C, the O2 is stable. All right, well, let's see what the answer is. It is B. Manually ventilate the patient while assessing possible reasons for the high pressure alarm. Manual ventilation of the patient will allow you to deliver a FiO2 of 100% oxygen to a patient while you attempt to determine the cause of the high pressure alarm. Proper ventilation techniques with the BVM or bag valve mask, if you guys don't remember what that is, should consider safe ventilation parameters for individual patients and their conditions. So manual ventilation is where you would unhook them. So they're already intubated. So you would unhook the endotracheal tube from the mechanical ventilator and then hook up the bag valve mask to the endotracheal tube, and you would manually bag them. So think of it like Pac-Man. No idea why I just did that. It just seemed right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, no problem. Okay, that makes sense. I got you. How we feeling about that? Shout out to all 90 of y'all in here. Shout out to all 90 of y'all that are in here that are rocking with me. We're doing NCLEX style questions. If you guys are new here, my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse. On all social media platforms, check me out on YouTube. Check me out on Thread, on X. I got a Facebook group. It's called the Boot Nurse. Or it's called the Boot Nation. So make sure you guys go over there and check that out. Make sure you guys like and you guys follow and you guys share, because we're going to be doing these more often. I know NCLEX, and when NCLEX season comes, we're going to be doing it heavy. You see what I'm saying? Boot, as in boots. Shawty got them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. All right. Anyways, so there's that. Great. Great. More questions on Monday. Yep. More questions. It says tomorrow. Do you have a live? I don't. I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 5:30 Texas time, or we'll say Central time, because I know if you go like west towards El Paso, they end up on Mountain time, which is always weird to me. So there's that. And boot. It says, why boot? Well, Pretty Blue, I would sit here and explain it to you. But you can go check out my YouTube channel and I tell you why. So thank you, Thunder and Kevin. You're welcome. Do you do NCLEX or RN review? So I actually have a review. It's called the 7-Day NCLEX course. If you check it out, the link is in my bio. Right now it's $48 because I'm consistently building it. It's in its pre-launch phase. So if right now it's $48. If you get it now, you have it forever. Right? So, we're consistently building it. We're consistently putting stuff in it. And by we, I mean me and y'all. And I mean people that buy it that are giving me feedback and people that are on my live that are giving me feedback, right? So if you guys want that, check it out. But I'm just letting you know right now it's in the pre-launch phase because some people are coming at me crazy and that's probably not advised for them to do that. However, I still love all of you. All right. So make sure you guys check that out. Yeah. Thunder says Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7:30 Central Standard Time. That's what I'm talking about. That might as well just be like a commercial. You know what I'm saying? So it says, wait, can you explain what high pressure alarm means on the ventilator? So high pressure alarm means that the ventilator is working too hard to push air into the patient, meaning that there's something that is blocked. So think about it like if you turn your water hose on outside, okay? If you turn your water hose on outside and then you pinch the water hose, you're gonna create that back pressure towards the valve where it's coming out of the house, right? So now you're gonna be like, wait a minute. Or for the simple fact, like your water hose is not gonna it's not gonna put out water efficiently like it's supposed to. So at that point, you are gonna go like, where do I have a kink in my water hose? Right? So it's the same exact thing. It's just like, hey, my patient's not being ventilated. The high pressure alarm is going off. That means the vent is working too hard to push air in because it's supposed to go in smoothly. So why is it pushing so hard? So now I have to troubleshoot what is happening. Does my patient have a mucus plug? Is there a kink inside of the tube? So on and so forth. Okay. Did that make sense? You're welcome, hospice. I got you. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome. For real, that was such a good example. Thank you. You're welcome. So the thing about it is like when it comes to this exam is that you have to make things relevant for you to understand. You want to know what's crazy? Somebody explained it to me like that. And it only makes sense for me to explain it to y'all. All right. So shout out to all 58 of y'all in here. And shout out to everybody, spreading love and sharing and liking. Make sure you guys follow. If you guys don't want me sideways, sitting sideways, boys in the days. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want me sideways, I need at least 3,000 people to like me so I can start to stream from the computer. I'm just saying. All right. So make sure everybody goes over there. They like, they follow, go check out the YouTube, all that good stuff. As a matter of fact, I got 12 minutes left. I'm going to get off at 8 o'clock. So 2000. Y'all want another question? Y'all want another question? Who wants another question? Who wants another question? I'm going to dangle it out there like a carrot. Like, we want another question? You guys twisted my arm. I'll do it. Fine. Bonus question. All right. How about this? We'll do questions until 8 o'clock. Then we'll do that. We'll do questions. All right. I got you. Hey, Thunder, I got you. Here we go. All right. The nursing assistant tells you that a patient who is receiving oxygen at a flow rate of 6 liters per minute by nasal cannula is complaining of nasal passage discomfort. Okay. Paint the picture, right? What intervention should you suggest to improve the patient's comfort for this problem? A, suggest the patient's oxygen be humidified. B, suggest that a simple face mask be used instead of a nasal cannula. C, suggest that a patient be provided with an extra pillow. D, suggest that the patient sit up in a chair at the bedside. A, the oxygen is very dry. A. What sound does the letter make? Tell me. Moisten that air, baby. No, you didn't. Hey, that's funny. Sarah says, I'm thinking A. Hey, Sarah, so I'm going to tell you something right now. Usually your first answer is the correct answer. Have that confidence. Have that confidence. I just started shaking. All right. Have that confidence. Sam says A. Okay, Sam. Make sure you guys share. Make sure you guys like. Shout out to all 70. I wish there were 70 people in here. 67 of y'all. I'd say A. AJ, I like where your head's at. Okay, now you say B. So now you're indecisive. Now I don't like where your head's at. I'm going to need for you to figure it out. DeWood says A. Come on, AJ. Get it together. Get it together. Isabella. Izzy/Bella. I'm just going to call you Izzy. Can I just call you Iz? Like Iz you is or Iz you ain't? It's A? Okay, I got you. Well, I know C and D aren't the answers. You are correct. You are correct. They are not the answer. Hey, remember, there's one. Hey, you get rid of them. Two are not, like, usually with the multiple choice. Two are just wrong. One's right. One's more right. So are you telling the NA to do a job, right? So yes, I had to reread it again. I was like, yes. When having discomfort, humidified oxygen is best. Okay. So I'd say changing how it's getting the oxygen would be the answer. Is that A? Is that an A? I don't know what answer. You gotta give me letters, AJ. Like the two letters that are in your name, A and J. I need either A or not J, because J is not one of the categories or one of the answer choices. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you can call me. I got you, Izzy. I got you. All right. Well, it looks like we have a general consensus, right? So the answer is, drumroll, please. That's a raspberry. Here we go. All right. A, of course, it's A. Suggests that the patient's oxygen be humidified. When the oxygen flow rate is higher than 4 liters per minute, the mucous membranes can dry out. The best treatment is to add humidification to the oxygen delivery system. It is reasonable to use humidified oxygen for patients who require high flow oxygen systems for more than 24 hours or who report upper airway discomfort due to dryness. Application of a water soluble jelly to the nares can also help decrease mucosal irritation. None of the other options will treat that problem. Everybody got the answer right. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to y'all. Why isn't all oxygenation humidified though? And what scenario would unhumidified be more helpful? Well, because you got to think is with low flow oxygen, you don't necessarily have the humidifier or you don't have that issue when it's lower. When it's lower than 4. Usually with a nasal cannula, you don't go any higher than 4. That's why it says like anything that's higher than 4, right? I'm sorry, usually it's 6. But you got to think it's just like not everybody's going to need humidified. If I put you on 2 liters of oxygen, that's nothing. That's nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's just like me putting a dryer up, like me putting like a leaf blower up to your skin. And it's just blowing constantly. What you think is going to happen to your skin? It's going to dry out because you're getting too much of that air. Not everybody's going to need all that air. It's the difference between getting air dried and then air pressure dried, if that makes sense. It's to save money for the facility. Let me tell you something right now. Do it. It's always about the bottom line. Because we're VA and we're cheap. Yep, that's true too. That's true too. Because we're VA and we're cheap. Oh man, unless you work at like a military hospital, because they ain't cheap. Oxygen is free, baby. All right, I think we're good. We'll go on to the next one. All right, here we go. All right, when a patient with TB is being prepared for discharge, which statement by the patient indicates the need for further teaching? Okay, so if you don't, right here, the need for further teaching, right? So now, if you don't understand, like if that's one of those ones that confuses you, you say, what did my patient say that was incorrect? And you're right, oxygen does not need a doctor's prescription. It does not. That's usually a standing order, right? So A, everyone in my family needs to go to see the doctor to be TB tested. B, I will continue to take my, oh my God, is it isoniazid until I feel completely well. I will cover my mouth and nose when I sneeze or cough and put my used tissue in a plastic bag. Or D, I will change my diet to include more foods rich in iron, protein, and vitamin C. All right, let's see what y'all said. All right, I don't know what he did. Something's in there. He's crazy. C is the answer. Where can I get more clinic audios? YouTube. The Wood says A. Calliope says A. Sam says C. Is it Cool Winder says B. Eminem says A. Bree says B. B is the answer. Oh, are you sure? You sure about that? You sure? I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself. I got B. B, you should take it as prescribed. Not until you're feeling better. Okay. Yeah, you're all over the place. Let's see, B, vitamin D. Cass, really? Hey, real mature. Oxygen needs a prescription if patient is going home on it. Yeah, but it doesn't say nothing. It says nothing about that. And the last question said nothing about that either. So that's another thing about this question, or about these questions when you take NCLEX. Do not add any more than what is given to you. They didn't say nothing about going home. Didn't say nothing about going home. Think about that. That's just a little nugget for you. All right. Usually sneezing and coughing is associated with droplets, so probably not C. We say D. You look, girl, stop. All right, a little bit. I got you. Girl, you know I do. B, I'm frozen again. Thunder, I'm going to need for you to get it together. You can't see the question? You better fix it. All right, here we go. Camila says D. Okay, let's see. Let's see what we got. All right, so here is Cool says B. Here is the answer. And boom. You're correct. It is B. I will continue to take my, I'm just going to say medication because I don't feel like saying the word, until I feel better or until I feel completely well. They have to continue taking the drug for 6 months. The other 3 statements are accurate and indicate an understanding of TB, right? So you have to keep taking this medication up to 6 months, right? So who can tell me with ionizing radiation or ionizing therapy, for people that have tuberculosis, what's another sign? What does it make your pee look like? Can anybody answer that? I literally told myself, just choose the one that's wrong. And I still read the question wrong. It's okay, Clappy. It's all good. Orange. There it is. Right? Because you could see another question that the format is written differently about what are some of the signs and symptoms or the side effects of taking ionizing therapy. Dark and orange. There you go. All right. So when you read medications like this, instantly you should instantly be able to recall what it's for. What are the signs and symptoms? That's one thing I love. People are just let me show you tricks on how to answer it. Cool. There's always those words and stuff that are sticking out, but it doesn't take away from the fact that you have to be familiar about what this is and where it comes from and what it's used for. Okay. Any questions about that? Probably not. Well, it's 7:58. You know what? I'll just give you one more. Boom. There we go. There we go. Here it is. Let's see. It's once you have TB, don't you always have it? Correct. So you have 2 different types. You have active and you have latent, right? I'll give you one guess on which one you should really look out for. Clippy, I ain't even read the question. Lord have mercy. Okay. To improve respiratory status, which medication should you be prepared to administer to a newborn infant with respiratory distress syndrome? Calliope says B. Eminem says D. Bree says B. Bree. Who is that? Ken says C. Becca says B. Is it NBA says B. Thunder says B. Kendra says B. I hate Farm. You better get used to it. Farm is the second largest section on the NCLEX. I'm just telling you. Trust me, I hated Farm. And then when I really buckled down and I got it together, got it. Clyde says, I love L&D, so that's why the answer is so fast. Hope it's right. I feel you. Cass says, I don't do babies, but B. D says A. Okay. All right, what else we got? Shout out to all 60, 80 y'all up in here. What else we got? Just guessing. Hey, you can guess. Guessing. Hey, if you don't know, you don't know. And then, some of these you're like, hey, maybe I need to look more into that specific section. What else we got? We got 71 people up in here. Shout out to everybody that shared. Shout out to everybody that's showing love. We're at 14,000 likes. So let's see what's going. Calliope says, I'm starting to think I answered wrong, but I don't want to change it. You better not change it. You better stick with that first answer. The steroid? Oh, I don't know, Lindsay. I don't know. Is that Genesia? Is it Genesia? She says D. Felicity says D. Haven't gotten to this yet. D. Pharmacology is going to be your best friend, let me tell you. And let me tell you something right now. Do not forget your pharmacology. Don't forget it. Who is that? Is it To get Rosa. Togaressa? I don't know. AJ says, I don't know this one. I do know D is used to treat and prevent bronchospasms. Okay. Sandra says C. Is it Nicolina says D. Glam says D. B says B. Is it Ellie says B? It's a newborn. Felicity says, you want to open the airway. B, always go with your first choice. Facts. Tell us the answer. First of all, Natalie, don't be coming up in here yelling at me like that. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure everybody has a fair chance to answer the question. My anxiety can. Okay. I got y'all. All right, here we go. And the answer is. Hey, did anybody see like 90 Day Fiance and like how like crazy homegirl was telling him not to look at other girls in church? Like, yo, that is wild. That is straight crazy. Good God. Lord of mercy. All right, I'm playing. I'm done. Okay. Oh my God. All right, so the answer was B. Oh my, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. That was funny. I sat there for a while trying to figure something out. But hey, sometimes you just gotta make these things better. You just gotta make these. Hey, yo, she is. Look, stop it. Hey, DeWood, stay on track. Stay with me. Stay with me, bro. Stay with me. All right. So, where we at? An infant with RS or RDS may be given 2 to 4 doses. During the 24 to 48 hour period after birth. It improves respiratory status, and research has shown a significant decrease in the incidence of pneumothorax when it is administered. Okay, you saw what? You did see that? Hey, stick with me. Hey, stay with me. Question, answer. Stay with me, hospice. Stay with me. All right. Forgive me for yelling. Natalie, you good? You good out there? Surfactant helps with lung expansion. Yes, it does. I haven't started my classes yet, but I'm practicing for NCLEX. That's what I'm talking about, Eminem. That's what we do around here. That's what we do. We practice. At least get it into your mindset now. Bro, you started it. We were locked in. You're right. Everybody was locked in. All right, cool. Hey, so what? How many did we do? Was that 12? We did 13. So guess what? On Monday, we'll do the other. I don't math well. What is that? 12? We'll do the other 12. All right. So we'll do the other 12. I hope everybody had a good time learning all that good jazz with moi. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Holding it like this was just like, it kind of like made my eyes hurt. It made my eyes hurt. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. All right. And my hair, look, you see this? Look, I got some grays up in here too. I don't even know what I'm doing in my life. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. Y'all are welcome. Hey, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. Like, I enjoyed this. I enjoy doing stuff like this. Okay. It says everyone return here Monday at 7:30 at 5:30. Yeah. Hey, everybody. I'm pretty sure people that just jumped up in here were just like, what does this fool look like? Hey, how y'all doing? Thank you so much. I'll get your review. Oh, I appreciate that. You're awesome. Love you. Hey, I appreciate you, Cass. You already know how I feel about you, girl. That's what I'm talking about. So, thank you for your, see you on your live. Okay, Maria, I can't wait to see everybody jump up in here. I enjoyed this as well. I'm glad everybody enjoyed it. Hey, remember my YouTube. All right. So I'll do my whole plug right now. Well, let me see what y'all are saying. This is the first time I came across you, and I came at the end, but I like this. Hey, AJ. So if you want to go check out my YouTube channel, it's at the Boot Nurse, and every live that I do goes up there. So one actually went up today. Another one's going to go up on Monday, and this one will probably go up on like Wednesday or something. I try to stagger them, so, but this is my last little spiel. If no one has ever known me before, of course, I would not expect you to, but my name is Kevin. I go by the Boot Nurse on all social media platforms. So Instagram, X, Thread, YouTube, of course. I have a Facebook page. It's called The Boot Nation, where essentially we do this, but it's a community, of other nurses where, you guys can ask questions and all this stuff. Some of these lives go in there as well. So make sure you guys go over there and check that out. Also, this is a place for new nurses, nursing students, pre-nursing students, all of that stuff. If you're going into the journey of being a nurse, once you get into nursing school, NCLEX, nursing, all that out there. This is one of those places. This is one of those places where we can build that community together. Okay. And here's my other shameless plug. If you are on your NCLEX journey, or if you're a new nurse about to start nursing school and you want to try to get a jump on NCLEX now because you know you don't graduate for another year to 2 years, the 7-day NCLEX course is in my bio. And it's going for $48. You buy it once, you don't have to ever buy it again. And you get all the updates to include the content, to include me going through questions like this in there, as well as working on and developing a computer adaptive tests, as well as working on NCLEX style questions to fit the next generation NCLEX. All right. And I'm doing all this for y'all because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be in this position and wondering like, hey, like, what do I do? What direction do I go? You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand what that feels like. And I never want anybody to feel like I failed. I know at one point in time, I did feel like a failure. And then it took somebody roping me in to be like, hey, you, get it together. Like, in order for you to be successful, one has to fail. And you adjust from your failures. Okay? I look like Jason Derulo. Look, I sing like him too. You ready for it? No, that's not happening. That's not happening. You thought, but I get told that all the time. I look like Jason Derulo. And to be honest, Aisha, he looks like me because I'm older than him. So there's that. But anyway, so yeah, anybody that wants to check out the 7-day NCLEX course, that link is in my bio. Make sure you guys go over there, check that out, and be a part of the growth. Be a part of the growth. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm all about growing in all aspects of life. Okay, so I hope everybody has a wonderful night. My YouTube channel it's The Boot Nurse. And once you get there, you'll see me in my glorious smiling face in my Navy uniform with glasses on, smiling, you know, for the $3,000 that I spent on these braces. So I don't have my braces on in there, though. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that it's there. It's there for y'all. But yeah, make sure you guys go check that out. What else y'all got? I think I'll hang out I literally always say that I'm going to get off and I get held hostage. I get held hostage. No, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to get off. I'm going to get off because your boy got stuff to do. And so, like I said, the one thing I always tell people, hey, be kind to yourself. I know a lot of people are, you know, really stressed out about whatever they got going on in the world, especially like those individuals that are feeling, you know, lost and, you know, feeling something sad about, you know, about them failing their NCLEX. But if that's the worst thing that can happen to you, I think that's okay. I'm just being completely honest. Like, I've been deployed before. I was in Afghanistan for a year, and you know, you saw a lot of stuff. You see a lot of stuff that goes on. So you could be in Ukraine right now. So it's all about perspective. Okay? Be kind to yourself. No one else is going to be more kind to you than you. Okay? So hope everybody has a great weekend. I hope everybody has a great night and a safe night and weekend. And I will see all of you and your shining, glorious faces on what day? On Monday at 5:30 Texas time. Thank you for your support, Cass. It's always appreciated. But I'll see everybody on Monday at 5:30, and hope to God that I got 3,000 people that love me so I can stream from here. All right. So check you later. Bye.